Hello, everybody, and welcome to Marquee Gaming today. Thank you so much for joining us today, as today is our beginning of our second campaign, Mystical Mishaps Session 1. Here we go. I'm super excited to get started with this. Our crew has grown, as you have seen, too, which we will get into shortly. You can be introduced to all of our players, some new faces, one new face actually, and the rest returning faces. Maybe you've seen the one new player though in the Sepulchre, where she's been around for that, so that's pretty fun. But yeah, this is session 1 of Mystical Mishaps, our homebrew gothic fantasy campaign, and we have 4 very fun characters who I'm looking forward to seeing how they interact with the world. Real quick off the top, thank you so much, Lost, and Yonch, and Bark for gifting out a sub there. Thank you for all your subs. Thank you so much. You are all appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, I think I'm ready to start playing some D&D today, because we have been away from playing D&D like campaigns on Sundays for a while now. We ended at the end of last year, so now it's time to go into the second campaign. So why don't we get started by letting our players introduce themselves. We're gonna start right up top there with Rachel. Take it away, Rachel. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Rachel, also known as Pip in the chat. You can check out my art and other things over on Twitter and Instagram at Pip400art. I have been posting a lot of the NPCs and stuff that I have been drawing for this campaign, so I've been trying to do that this week, so you can go look at that. I also like to stream art here on this channel at 3:30 CST on Mondays, so you can come hang out with me tomorrow, and I will probably still be working on some NPC art for this because I still have a list. You can't even see it, but it's there, I promise.
It's not blank, trust me.
Yeah, it's not blank. Do you want us to say who we're playing, or do you want to skip that part?
We can skip that one for now. We'll introduce that when we get into the campaign. Your name's on the screen, so that's fine. We can get into that.
Yeah, it's a mystery. Yes. No one knows.
The mystery as it reveals every few seconds.
Yeah, as I've been talking about it all the time.
All right, cool. We will pass it on over to our next player, Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and I'm not going to say who I play, and that was about to. Just established we're not doing that.
Almost 17 rogue.
I know. Oh, I missed that high number. Yeah, I looked at the measly number on my current character sheet. It was sad, but it's okay. I'm excited to make her strong. And yeah, I'm only here today, so it's very special because I don't stream any of this, but right now. So, but look at Rachel's art stream because that's always fun, and there's lots of fun chat that happens in there too. So. And I'll be there. I will be there in the chat tomorrow, I think.
Awesome. Very exciting. We're gonna pass it on down now to our new player,
Yay.
Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley. A lot of you know me as Salt and Ash on in the Twitch chat, and then also in the Discord, where I post a lot of the random stuff that I do. I make a lot of art and I write, and yeah, all of it's linked in the Discord pretty much all the time. I'm on Instagram. So yeah, excited to be here.
Very excited to have you, and definitely go check out Ashley's stuff. Lots of fun, cool things.
Cool.
A lot of them are D&D related too, which is also cool. So lots of fun. And our final player returning, the one, the only, Michael. Take it away.
Hello, hello. My name is Michael, also known as Bardic Dice on all the socials. Also a Twitch streamer as well that I love to have Rachel, Mark, and others on our channel on Thursdays at 6:30 Central for Fates United. So I do that. I show up in various other campaigns during the week as well. And have all of our old streams on YouTube. So if you want to go follow that as well. And then I'm just getting into the fun of doing more like paid DM stuff. So if you guys ever want to play in a game with me, I can go to startplaying.games/GM/Bardic Dice. It's a lot. Just look me up. But it's a whole lot of fun. We started our Wednesday game with Storm King's Thunder. It was amazing, so much fun. And I think we're going to be doing an Icewind Dale on Saturdays as well. So that's open seats. So, but yeah, I'm super excited to be back here to be playing this one. So thank you so much, Mark, for having me again.
It's good to have you back. And I am Mark, the Dungeon Master for today. And yeah, I'm excited. I've put in a lot of work into this campaign, and I still have a mountain more of work to still continue to work on as we continue. But I'm excited to begin this story. And yes, this is one of my most daunting undertakings as a campaign I've ever done. And I'm real pumped to see if I can do it, or if it's all going to have to be like deconstructed real quickly mid-campaign to try to fix it. We'll find out. But yes, let's get into this game in a moment, though. I want to announce we do have our Sepulchre stream. Our fourth team is this. I want to make sure I get the right day. Is Friday, I believe. Let me double check. Saturday. This Saturday, the 18th. That's why I double checked. This Saturday, the 18th, from 7 to 10 PM CST, our fourth team is entering into the Sepulchre, our battle arena that takes place in this world. Shh. And they will be fighting to try to claim the top spot of the season. We've had some really interesting combats. It's crazy. So that's this Friday or Saturday. This Saturday. My goodness, I'm completely thrown off. Saturday. So hopefully we can see you there. But again, thank you so much for joining us today for our beginning of campaign 2, Mystical Mishaps. We're going to start off with our intro video. All right, we are back, everybody, as we are going to dive into our first session here, Mystical Mishaps. Let me turn on our music. Our journey begins in a world known as Vradatesh, a world created by 4 wizards 149 years ago to be a hub of magical study with the hopes of great advancement of magical knowledge. As the world expanded, there were many who hoped to seize the new opportunities that lie before them, and many flocked to the world with the potentials and possibilities it offered. And resources and studies flourished. But this prosperous world would not last forever. Already facing the challenges of monitoring the researchers' studies to make sure they weren't sinister, or of any other ill intent, 5 years prior to the start of this campaign, there was a event that literally has shaken the world to its core. This event is known as the Shudder. It is believed that something happened to many of the higher deities, resulting in magic being seriously disrupted and offsetting the balance of the world ever since. Magic has become mistrusted as more powerful magics in the world have resulted in many unexpected and unwanted results. And hundreds of thousands have died in the years since the Shudder. Many attempts have been there to flee Raditesh, but those have proved to be risky as well. This has left us with a world with people who are afraid, trapped, determined, greedy, angry, yet some optimistic. Today we meet our crew. These 4 young, new adventurers have all arrived in the original city of Raditesh, known as Heaven's Reach. All are seeking to join a monster hunting crew for their own various reasons. They've heard about tryouts being held today. So we're going to be diving in with everyone rolling me a d20 right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set the stage for how.
Yeah, that's about right.
I was gonna say. Oh,
Yes.
19.
So, Rachel, what'd you get?
Trying to.
A 5. Okay.
Hey,
Ashley, what'd you get?
that's not a 1.
Got a 15.
15.
There we
Okay.
go.
Kelly, what'd you get?
I got a 19.
Nice. And Mike?
6.
6. Wow.
Hi.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't a 1, guys. That's not the worst.
You're right. You're right.
So we
Once.
begin with a young Kithrak girl. By the way, everybody, Kithrak is a dark elf in my world. Okay.
Quick tip.
Quick
Same
tip.
thing.
How do you spell that, by the way? Sorry. Get through it.
Kythorek.
Nice.
She enters the city. First time, probably in a long time you've been here. Maybe you've been here a couple times before, but not of recent time. But you enter into this massive city, large buildings. As you look around, you see even some towers and structures that are floating in the sky, not suspended by anything, just probably magically aloft. But the walls around the city are tall. There is definitely guards on all ends. As you know, the roads are pretty dangerous, and they want to make sure they keep out any threats for the people within. But you're allowed access into the city through one of the gates on the eastern side, and begin your journey towards this tryout that you've heard about. Is there anything that you would do prior to trying to find this location?
Are there any museums or anything in town that I could check out? I'd love to see a good museum.
There are definitely places of interest like that around that you could peruse if you'd want to.
Okay. I think, yeah, she would just be like, she'd have some like papers in her hand that she was looking at, that she's like ringing them because she's like nervous and kind of nervous looking around, but also like, sees all these exciting things too and wants to like partake, but is also very like nervous to partake. So like, I think, and also I'd want to occupy my mind before this tryout because I'm very nervous for the tryout. So I like want to just do something that can take my mind off things. So I think I'd find that if I had time, I'd find like the nearest some sort of museum, something like that I could hang out in and try and get my mind off of my nerves.
Yeah, in the time you're waiting, you do stop at a local museum, peruse it for a while.
I'm like nervously sketching some things and like looking around kind of half-heartedly, like, and like if someone's like anything happens, it's like too loud, I'm like, oh. You know, look around, but I'm still walking around. I'm still kind of having a good time, but I'm like sweaty and just more nervous for my upcoming tryout.
Not many people would bother you. They just kind of let you go. Some people who work at the museum might kind of smile at you as you are sketching things. Just kind of
I kind of give like a
impressed with your inquisitive mind.
And then I think once the time was getting close, I'd want to head over early to the location of the tryouts because I want to kind of look around, make sure I don't get lost, make sure I don't have anything, thing go wrong or. Yeah.
You want to make sure you're on time. I respect.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. So you head on over. There is it's like a clubhouse type thing that's been set up, and you're able to get inside. Just a few people who are there already, but they offer you a seat while you wait. An individual comes over and asks you to introduce yourself, and as you do, why don't you start describing your character for everybody?
Okay. Am I doing this like in character, like or just like saying like this is what she looks like and all that stuff? Like, how do you want this?
Yeah, you can say your character's name and any description about her as you like.
Okay. So I'm Winnie. So I'll kind of say like, I'm Winnie, hi, and kind of look around. So she is like a shorter Kitharek. So she's like kind of crazy curly hair that's sort of like pulled back, haphazardly. She looks kind of like frantic right now. She's clearly very nervous. Kind of like hunched, like kind of hunches a little bit too, and so it's kind of like making herself even smaller. But she has like these goggles on her head. And she's got like little freckles and stuff, and she just has papers just sticking out of like pockets and stuff where she clearly, and like pencils kind of like shoved into pockets too, where it's clear she's kind of a mess. A little disorganized, a little frantic, but also like, yeah. I think you just get kind of a nervous energy. Yeah, she's just sort of, and then she kind of like says her name, kind of shyly, like, hi, I'm Winnie, and then just kind of gets ready to like, waits for the approval to kind of sit back down. Doesn't say too much about herself.
Yeah, the individual, the guy who came up to you, takes your name and thank you for that, and go back to a group of 3 others who look sort of like they're in charge of this as you're watching. One is a human who looks really dignified. He's the one who came and spoke to you. Another is another human who looks kind of a little more ratty and has like a nice hat on that's covering a lot of his face. It looks a little more kind of covered up. There's a dragonborn who looks somewhat armored and definitely a little tougher, kind of giving side-eye glances at everybody who comes around. And there is a woman who is there with blonde hair, and she sort of looks a lot more graceful than everyone else, and I'll just kind of watch as people come in.
Okay.
But you're able to take your seat and wait until things begin.
Okay.
Brings us to our second character. Ashley, we go to you. As your character enters in through the south gate of the city and begins her journey into this massive city, again, full of magic, far bigger than any you've probably ever seen before. What would you do in your time leading up to this?
I would take my time walking in, just trying to take in everything at once. I would definitely, first thing, try to find some sort of an apothecary or a botanical garden, or maybe both, and talk to whoever's working there and just like start to look at what they're offering and what kind of plants are growing there and comparing them to what I already know.
Yeah, there's definitely a mix of both you could go to. You could head more towards gardens or towards businesses. Be your choice, what you think would be more interest to you.
I definitely think I would want to visit the businesses first, but as it got closer to time that I needed to start thinking about this tryout, I would go sit in a garden and like try and meditate and calm myself and get in the zone, kind of thing.
Definitely. So yeah, shopkeepers are friendly. They're definitely looking like they want to have you be a customer at some point to buy from their stock. But they offer some fun tips. They have a nice back and forth about kind of your experiences and theirs, and again, friendly people in general. But you do find a garden that it's well kept and a wide variety of different plant life here as well. They seem to have definitely a array of different things that you can look at, and you can find a quiet spot to sit and meditate for a while beforehand and just be ready for this evening's tryouts and what's going to happen. But
I would also probably be a little bit early out of nerves and just wanting to be on top of everything.
yes. So, not too long after Winnifred shows up, you show up as well into this sort of clubhouse-looking building. It actually, you take note of it, looks like it is surrounded by somewhat of a mini garden as well. There's lots of trees and plants that are surrounding it.
Okay, cool.
But you enter in and are greeted by the individual with the hat on. Looks a little more kind of slimy. Comes up. Yeah, fill this out. And slides over a piece of paper. Just need your name, some info about you. So at this point, feel free to introduce your character and what people would see of her.
Yeah, so Euphemia has quite the mane of curly dark hair, just kind of in a big puff around her. And she's got very practical traveling gear. All of her little vials and pouches of samples and formulas that she's collected along the way. She usually has a staff with her, wooden staff, and is generally like pretty composed, but also, especially right now because she's got some nerves, very like quiet and tightly held, I would say. So I would also very, very intently read every single word on this document.
Okay. It's at this point, it's just personal information. It's not like a contract or anything that you'd be signing. Some weird effect might happen later on. So I'm pretty. I pay attention to the details, so I would want to make sure I know exactly what I'm filling out. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
She's learned our lessons.
It's definitely just give me your name, give me some history, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you can be thorough with how you fill it out and make sure it's well written too. Nice handwriting.
Take my time. Yeah.
But he'll just kind of slide it and okay, thanks, and just walks away from you. Doesn't really say much to you. And allows you to have a seat. You look around the room, you see a Kitharek girl sitting there, kind of hunched over a little bit. And you also see a what looks like a half-orc who is just kind of like sitting there. Big buff guy at the table,
Okay. If any of them make eye contact with me, I would kind of just like nod politely, and sit quietly.
Okay. Yeah, there's like 4 tables too. Get the
Okay.
girl at one, half orc at the other. 2 are empty right now. And then there's the group
I'll
of
go
4
sit
at
by the
front.
girl.
Okay. So,
Not like next to her, like right in her space, but like respectfully.
across the
with some
table
room.
from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unintimidatingly.
I
But-
still look intimidated. Just very like wide
I
eyed.
think if you looked really nervous, I would smile at you reassuringly, but not really like say anything.
Okay, I would probably just back. Keep reading my paper over and over again that they've given me.
All right. So, you 2 kind of sit awkwardly in silence there, waiting for now.
Probably like make some notes from the shops that I visited and stuff too. I usually have kind of a running book of formulae and information, so.
So yeah, you just
I pretend to be busy, like doing so.
both
Just pretend to
in your
occupy
own
myself.
paperwork and quiet.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Little
I want to
awkward.
seem. I
It's
want to
fine.
seem like I'm not. Yeah, I do not want to have to make conversation. So and I don't want to be unfriendly, but I want to just
Right.
seem like I'm very. I'm not a loser, and I'm not just sitting here not knowing what to do.
Yes.
Honestly, same. So we're in good company. Like, I'm not gonna force it, but I also don't want to like be
Yeah,
super withdrawn.
same. So I'm just gonna.
As you're sort of watching around the room too, especially you, Euphemia, you notice that the half orc looks like he's sort of dozing off in his chair, pretty bored. But you wait a little longer. There's a couple humans that come in. They look like they know each other. They're talking, and they both start filling out their paperwork. Followed by a halfling girl, not too long after there, who also starts filling out some paperwork. The humans sit together. The halfling goes to the last available table that's open, and sits by herself. And shortly after that, a dwarf individual also shows up, begins filling out the paperwork, and he'll sit next to the mostly asleep half-orc at this point, at his table.
Okay.
But that brings us to Mike. Your character would enter in through the, let me double check, most likely the western gate of the city in your journeys, and would begin making your way into the city. Again, this is vastly different than what you're used to seeing. Very populous looking place. Very much the buildings are huge compared to any buildings you're used to seeing. This is like the center hub of the world, as much as you know.
You had said something was hanging. Was it the actual city or something in the city that's
There
suspended?
are towers that are floating. They're not suspended by anything. They're just floating in the sky above the city. And yeah, there's nothing holding them up. They're just aloft.
Interesting. Yeah, he's definitely checking those out for sure.
But what would you do as you enter the city? Probably closer to midday as you arrive.
Dav would probably be walking around a bit first, kind of seeing how people are reacting to him, and his look especially. But he would try and find a library or a wizarding school, anything like that. Maybe even anything that explains the towers.
There are definitely people who have kind of strange looks as they see you walk through with your eye that's been replaced with the blue stone and kind of the spreading markings that come from it. At one point, you even see a young blonde girl who just covers her face when she sees you and turns away, like she was afraid of you or something.
Right. He will go down an alley and take out a bit of clay then and start molding it, and you see a couple sparks of electricity, and he'll end up forming it to his face, and he'll cast Disguise Self and kind of make a bit of a disguise of kind of obvious that he's covering up something, but maybe to someone that's not paying attention, you can kind of...
So, with a casting of a spell, here's something that I need you to be aware of, all players actually too. Whenever you cast a spell, I need to know two things. One, the level you're casting it at, and two, the school of magic that you're casting within. Because I might not just remember off the top of my head what the school is. So when you do that, please tell me the level and the school, so I know.
School is at the top. Okay. Level 1, illusion.
All right. Sounds good. All right. You cast your spell and you begin to disguise yourself. What would you look like with your disguise self? Did you say?
Really just the same thing, but just making the eye match the other one, even though maybe it's a little deadened and lazy looking. And then try and cover up some of the scars just so that's not firstly apparent. Basically, he can reveal it when he wants, but not having it scare little children in the sleep in the street. So.
Yes. But as it's getting closer to evening, would you do anything before you would arrive at the meeting spot?
Just trying to get information on the towers and any sort of schools that's here.
Yeah, I mean,
a place of academic.
Why don't you give me a persuasion check as you ask around about the towers?
Persuasion. All right. I'm gonna try the dab dice. We're gonna try it. This doesn't feel the biggest thing in the world, so
yeah, can't go bad.
Yeah, that's a 3. Hey, where's the school?
As you sort of begin to just ask kind of some random commoners, these people do not seem nearly as open to converse with you and just kind of like, leave me alone, and just begin to walk another way and just like, I don't have time.
Just got a question. Whatever.
But it's a big city too. It's hard to find a lot of things. Unfortunately, you're not sure. Probably magical, but you're not really sure how it afloats.
Will probably have been intended to get there early so we can like scope out everyone and understand what's going on, but I've gotten a little lost in time trying to go around, so he might hear like the clock start like hitting and then dang it, and then start booking it to the tryouts.
Okay. You do find the same building eventually. Just kind of a simple looking clubhouse, single room building. It's a large room, but just a single room. You already see a few individuals seated at different tables as you do come in. You're approached by a dragonborn individual who's wearing some hefty armor, walks up to you. You here for the tryouts?
What else would I be here for?
Don't give me your lip. Fill us out. Just puts his paper down in front of you.
I was just being honest. All right.
Just kind of snarls at you like he just doesn't like you.
Yep, that's typical. We'll be friends soon enough, don't worry.
Sure. But
do I clock Winnie at all? Is the papers out in the note taking?
I mean, a quick scan of the room. Yeah, there's definitely some.
Would anyone else appear more with like scrolls or books, or like more studious than her at that glance?
I
feel like she kind of stands out a little bit with that.
Trying hard not to do. Trying to blend in, but man, it just makes it look bad.
Yeah, the halfling and the orc definitely don't look like that at all. The two humans that are talking, like they're just both engrossed in their conversation. They don't really look. They look respectable, but they don't look like they're studying anything outright. Meanwhile, there's the table with two individuals with books in front of them taking notes. So.
It's study hall over here.
I go find a seat right next to Winnie.
All right. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Right
Mike,
This
as
is
you
exactly what I've
describe you fill out your character sheet. Tell people what they're seeing and who you are.
seen. Since the last time I played a character, I had to go for the one that talked like this, so I had to, beam it towards that one. But Dav has a bit of a gruff voice. Something maybe not used to the condition of the town or something up with his throat. But he's got long black hair kind of coming to a bun in the back. It's real messy. Collared white shirt that has a few buttons undone with a tie that's not ever fully tightened. And a long black overcoat with a lot of rips and tears with like really badly sewn back over. Maybe a few that are actually well done. Maybe he got a few people that pitied him. But just kind of everything that barely looks like it sticks together could be. It's clean, but just messy. A lot of like different pouches and pockets and bands that hold different components on him. A shield and a dagger. The shield has a bit of a infusion that is made out of that same clay as well. And I guess from what they can see, a bit of a this side of the face looking almost like covered almost like a porcelain mask with that disguised self. But without that, they would normally see Dav with one blue stone in his right eye. I'm just the opposite of that. With the almost like veins of blue kind of coming from that. So I don't know if they can see that right now or not, but
it's probably worn off by this point. Being an hour-long spell by this time,
Cool.
It's most likely been over an hour. This is a pretty big city. There is like a built-in transport system where you can just kind of get on and just ride through the city through different tracks that go around. But yeah, it's probably been over an hour since you've cast the spell upon first arriving at this point.
good to know. He's happy at making first impressions, so that's fine.
So you both see this individual sit down at the table, fill out their paperwork.
Afternoon.
Hi.
He's right
I
next
would
to me, right? He's just sitting
Right
next
next to you, looking right at you.
Okay, I'm gonna look over and be like, "Hi."
Stone in your face. Yeah.
Can I this brand person just actually with both of them? Can I examine them and just kind of see like anything I notice about them that's like stands out?
Yeah, you can give me perception or investigation. Either one works.
What am I better at? I'm so used to Raya's stats that I want to say. I think in perception I'm way better at. Okay. 13.
Okay. I feel like it's pretty basic what you see. I mean, probably the biggest thing that would stand out is the right eye with the gem in it.
Yeah.
That's definitely abnormal from what you'd typically see, but I don't think anything else of note would really stand out for either one of them.
I think that so even though she is nervous, I think the gem in the eye would intrigue her more than her nervousness. I'd be like, "Hey, what's up with your eye?"
Oh, you're a direct one. I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. Was that bad? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Hi, my name's Dav'Ril.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Yours?
I'm Winnie. I'm sorry. Was that rude? I just think it's cool. I don't know. Is there anything? It's cool.
Totally
Can I look
normal.
at it? I'm gonna kind of look. But now I realize that
I can't take it out, but yeah, you can look at it, sure.
I've now realized my social faux pas, and I'm like shrinking back, but I also am still interested. Okay.
Watching this go back and forth with great interest.
And your name?
Oh, I'm Euphemia.
Euphemia. Dav'Ril. It's a pleasure to meet you both. The stone's azure. I'm sure you're aware of that. You look like you make many notes, and are you a tinkerer as well?
Maybe. I mean, I like to think myself as. I like to
Maybe?
tinker things, I guess. Yeah. And I just like things. I like lots of things. I'm interested in everything.
All right. What kind of things then?
Monsters and how things work, and history and I don't know, lots of things.
Oh, what did you study then? So you're like academic as well?
Kind of. Not really. I tried to be, and it didn't really work out that well, but that's okay. I still like things. I'm still interested in learning. What about you?
Same story, actually. Didn't really work out. Trying to find something new, I guess.
Wait, really?
Pretty much.
What do you do now?
He takes out his own like tome, another one with scrolls, like notes, as he's like he's been keeping notes of the city, and now he's like already making notes of the two people and doesn't know what she does, and like you can see him writing like academic question mark.
I think I'd be more interested. I'm like actually feeling somewhat related to this person. I'm like, oh, and so I'm gonna look at the notes and like read them and note down some observations. Oh, this is interesting.
Sounds like you're kind of in the same boat. At least no one really wants to take me for this, so I'm taking my route to figure out more things through this tryout.
What do you mean no one wants to take you?
Let's just say it's many people. This is not an eye opener for most people.
Nice.
It gets a chuckle every so often.
That was pretty good.
I like it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. What? I'll point to. I'm sorry. How do you say her name again? I'm sorry. Euphemia.
Yeah.
I'll point to Euphemia and be like, "Yeah. What do you do? I like your staff."
Oh, thanks. It comes in handy sometimes. I'm a healer, usually. Or I was. Before everything.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
So
What do you do now?
I'm kind of starting over too. I'm trying to figure out if there's new formula or if there's new medicines that would work to keep doing my job.
Kind of just leans in. You're not one of those that doesn't use magic or anything, right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, a little
Just
here and
making
there.
sure. I mean, it's a little ignorant of people these days, but I understand the fear, but still.
It has its own set of risks, but, when it's necessary.
Glad I picked the right table then.
So, as this kind of conversation goes on, we're going to jump over to our final character. Rachel, your character enters into the city. You've probably been through here before. You've seen it.
Yeah.
It's been many years since you've seen it, but you
I
definitely
feel
have
like
been
I've only
here
seen
before.
certain portions of it too.
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely.
so,
But the sight of those floating buildings is familiar to you. You recognize kind of some of the way the city works, the transport, all that stuff. So you arrive. Anything you would do as you arrive later in the day. It's been a long journey for you to get here. Is there anything that you would do prior to your meeting, as it's mid-afternoon when you arrive?
if I have time, I'd like to just kind of do a little walk by of places I did used to like go. Especially like the more wealthy areas, and do a quick like scope out of it. See what's changed.
Sure.
See if I get any recognition, anything like that.
Sure. So you start going towards the more wealthy neighborhoods that you're familiar with, as you'll come in through the south gate. Why don't you give me a perception roll as you go through?
Okay, I'm worried now about these dice. I got a 5.
5.
Oh,
So you begin to head towards a more familiar city part of the city you've been to before. It's a little closer to the outskirts of the city. It's one of the more wealthy districts. But as you begin to walk through, you kind of begin to take note of this is not the same as it was before. the last time you've been here. It's looking much more worn down and abandoned in a lot of buildings. You see a lot of the nice homes that are windows smashed, boarded up. You even see a few that are on, like, looks like they've been burned down and haven't been torn down. Just kind of the charred wood of the structure still kind of sits there. You even see painted on one of the buildings, "The gods have abandoned us." Definitely
Okay.
hugely different than what you were expecting to see when you got here.
Definitely. I think she looks pretty like saddened by that. Just kind of like taking it all in and like comparing in her mind, you know? But yeah, I think that would probably be, I don't even know if she'd have much time for anything else. Yeah, I don't think so. Just a scope out, or even like of a place I can stay, you know, later on tonight.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a fair amount of inns that you could stop at along some of the major roads. Find places to stay for the evening, but
Something that like is within my price point, but also like doesn't like utterly disgust me.
yes.
So I know it's probably a really fine line, but we're gonna try to find something.
Roaches have top hats at least, right?
There's at least a few places that you pass by saying no to, turning your nose up and moving on, but eventually you find a location that's a little further towards the center of the city. It seems to be acceptable to you.
At my price point.
It's within your price point.
Okay. I feel she almost looks like more relaxed too, and so then she remembers where it is, and then she will head over. I would imagine she doesn't go, like, everyone comes, like, wants to show up so early. I think I'd come within, like, the 5 to 10 minutes early, not earlier.
Okay.
Like, we're at 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. So you get in there right before sort of everything's gonna get going. You walk in, and the woman who you look at, she is an ASMR as well, approaches you with her blonde hair and a big smile. "Ah, welcome. Please find us." She kind of like looks around and sees some of the tables, motions to some of the tables. "You may have a seat. We have some paperwork we need you to fill out if you're interested in joining, and we just need to kind of know who you are."
All right, let me see it.
She'll hand you the form.
Yeah, I'll fill everything out to the best of my abilities, in like just really like scrolling calligraphy. Like, it's just really nice handwriting. Very precise.
And she kind of like watches you, right? "Maybe you'll fit in with this crowd," and points to the table who all have their books out. Right.
Yes, you might be right. Thank you.
And she kind of looks at the dwarf who's sitting by himself. It's like, "Why don't you come over here?" And she kind of like brings some of the people together who are sitting separate. And she has the dwarf sit with the humans. But there's this extra seat over at with the 3 studious-looking people. And then there's the kind of more shady-looking, gruff half-orc who's, again, still kind of half in and out, and then the halfling who's just kind of eyeing around the room, looking at everybody.
Okay. Yeah, I almost like, she looks over at the table and looks like just this like faint smile of amusement at like, yeah, the study crew. And she looks at them. She looks at the other the 2 tables. I know one of them's full, but just kind of taking everyone in. And then she does sit down at the study hall crew.
Study hall crew, there you go.
And
Why don't you
she'll
say your name and description as well.
Yeah. So, Eleanora is a ASMR. She has very, very, very pale skin, dark black hair with one like stark white streak on the front of her head, of her hair. Just one. She has very, very piercing blue eyes, and is very richly dressed. Really nice outfits, some nice jewelry. Probably does not look like she should be here, like at all. And even like the way she like when she sits down at your table, like her posture is like very like straight and poised, and like, you know, she like folds her hands like on top of like the table, you know, just like every move is like very like constructed and like elegant. And she looks at the three and goes, "Do you mind if I sit here?"
When you will look over at you sitting up straight, first of all, I'm gonna see your nice handwriting and kind of move my horrible handwriting, my notes over a little bit so you can't see, or like block them with my hand. And then I'm gonna do like a kind of a hunt and be like, just kind of sit up a little straighter because I want to copy you. I'm just kind of copying what you're doing.
Dav instantly makes notes as he's reading people like, okay. Sure, I guess. Sure you found the right table? Like, looks over her dress.
I'm quite sure I found the right table. I don't know what you're referring to.
What kind of skill sets do you have?
Oh, well, I'm a wizard. So, magic. What about you three? Are we getting into this right away? It's interesting.
Well, if we're gonna kill monsters, might as well know what we're good at, right?
I suppose.
So, you know about a lot of things then, yes?
About a lot of things. It depends on what you're asking, I suppose.
That's good. Well, seems like we found the right table then. Intellect over brawn.
Oh,
No
yes,
offense, like
you all seem
in
to.
the right way.
Yes, you all seem to be astute note takers. What are you all writing?
Oh, just making some notes from my visits earlier today. Have you been traveling long?
Oh, yes, about a week's worth of travel. It was very long. I just arrived today, actually.
Oh, same.
Yeah, I'm still filling out the form.
Oh,
Form. I mean, when he's very nervous.
Yeah. And there's a
Oh,
very
very much-
impatient-looking dragonborn just like staring daggers at Dav the whole time too.
I'm almost done.
do you not need a distraction? I can talk to the other two. All right. What? I'm Eleanora, by the way. What are all your names?
Euphemia, nice to meet you.
Euphemia. Pleasure. Dav'Ril. Winnie. Pleasure to meet all three of you.
Good to meet you too.
So, everyone is aiming to become monster slayers, then? What made you three decide to want to do that? Out of curiosity. What'd you say?
It's gonna be so hard not to match that accent. You know I love
I'm sorry.
I am an academic. Winnie, are you done with that form? Big guy's over there staring daggers at me.
And I'll finish writing really quickly. Yeah.
I got it. Euphemia, you already turned yours in. And just kind of, he does that little like shoulder, like buddy shoulder thing to you, Eleanora when he gets up. All right, and then we'll walk up to the dragonborn. And
just takes them from you without even saying much and just walks back with the papers.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna turn to Eleanora and answer her question. If there's,
Thank you.
I figure if there's monsters and monster hunting, there's gonna be people who need to be patched up. That's what I'm good at.
Very noble aspiration. That's very impressive.
She just kind of like shrugs a little bit.
What about you, Winnie?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I think that monsters we need to know more about them, and we need to stop them sometimes.
And that's what you aim to do. I mean, this is a very dangerous profession.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yes.
I'm just wringing my
What?
papers.
Are you anxious to be talking to someone right now, my dear, or are you more anxious for the actual trials?
Both.
Both.
Uh-huh.
Well, you need not fear. I think everyone seems very, very pleasant.
Yeah.
What makes you not anxious?
What makes me not anxious?
Well, besides, it seemed like the eye kind of calmed you down, weirdly enough.
Learning things. I like learning new things. Makes me not as anxious. And when I fight, I don't feel that anxious, actually. So that's not bad.
That's impressive. I mean, so technically you're learning something about all of us.
I guess I never thought of it that way. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Maybe you can focus more on learning one thing about someone that you don't know, and perhaps it will detract from your nerves.
Okay. I like the streak in your hair. Did you do it yourself, or is it just there?
No, well, I appreciate it. I'm not the biggest fan of it myself, but yes, I did
Why
not
not?
do it. Well, I think it detracts from my look, personally.
I don't think so.
It doesn't
I get out
match.
to it.
Oh,
It fits
really?
the adventure.
Oh, well,
Definitely fits right
thank
in.
you. What fits right in? What do you mean?
Streak. It goes.
Well, that's very kind of all of you. I appreciate it.
Winnie Clinton thinks Eleanor's so cool. She's She's like,
Kelly, did we switch roles where Karis was like, wow, with the other two, and now
I think so by accident.
oh my gosh.
I'm having a blast. Just a little like the eyes go wide. Like
Yeah.
Dav'Ril, you did not say why you want to be a monster hunter? You said academic. You're just learning more about monsters. Is that what you mean?
More knowledge, more skill, more power.
True.
Does anyone have a snack? I didn't eat much today. I'm really hungry.
I one of my bags. I pull out like a bunch of little snacks. Like,
Oh, you are definitely gonna be my friend. Hey, do you mind?
Yeah. Here.
Thank
take
you.
all.
I figured they'd have food here or something, so just starts eating whatever you got.
But as you
I know
guys
I'm
are,
talking amount of snacks too. It's a lot.
I don't. I keep a pretty straight expression, but there's a brief glimpse of like, we're eating snacks here, like something like.
With no silverware?
Yeah. Just like she tries to hide the like, but like you might see a glimpse of it.
He's like licking the flavor off of his fingers when he's done. Like,
Oh my gosh.
as,
She's like decidedly looking somewhere else.
as you guys are talking, and the four at the front kind of begin to look like they're getting ready to start things up, the door swings open one more time, and in walks a younger tiefling girl. She walks in very confidently, though, like she owns the place, and just immediately looks around. Someone approaches her with the paper and just takes it and starts to fill it out, sits down next to the halfling, begins writing it out, and just slides it over like it took like no time for her to fill out. She's like, and just slides it over.
A lot of questions.
And you could assume that she probably didn't answer very thoroughly in any of the questions.
He's like doing paragraphs in essay form. He's got notes at the bottom.
But the human gentleman who is dressed rather finely sort of begins to look at all of you. All right, everybody, if you're all ready to begin, we have your paperwork. I believe, and anybody else have to turn theirs in, kind of looks around. But he says, well, my name is Fred Morgan. I am the leader of the Crossfire here in Heaven's Reach. And we are here to test you, see if you would be interested in, or a good addition to one of our crews. We are all representatives from different monster hunting groups here, and we are here to assess your skills to see how useful you would be to one of our organizations. So please do your best, present yourself the best way you can, and we will assess based off of our current needs. Please do not be offended if we do not have need of you. There are always more tryouts in the future, and we can have you try again later. There may be new needs that open up. So with that, he kind of motions to the next guy who has the hat on, kind of the more rough-looking guy. Just kind of steps up, glove in hand, the red blades, and steps back. And just Fred kind of nods, like, okay, I hope for more, but okay. The Dragonborn kind of like steps up, like all puffed up looking, just like eyeing you all over. Porter Thompson, the Moon Guard. We only want the tough ones here. And steps back.
Yeah, we're not getting on that team. Sorry, guys.
And the female ASMR steps up. And I am Lexi Duncan of the Sealed Fate. And good luck to all of you. I wish you the best, and I look forward to seeing your performances today. She'll step back.
What was the moon name? The Dragonborn's team?
The Moon Guard.
The Moon Guard.
Again, we don't do moon things around here anymore. It's a rule.
Nope.
But Fred steps back up. Well, we are going to begin with our assessment of your skills, if you're all ready. Any questions before we get started? And then Lexi kind of, don't forget, and he's like, oh yes, I forgot. By joining this, we must, have some sort of understanding of who you are. So, one thing we do prior to this whole tryouts, we like to get a bit of understanding of your genetic makeup. Sometimes that could really help us know who you are as a person and give insights into maybe powers that can be unlocked within you, or skills you have you may not realize yet, or a deeper understanding of what you currently possess. So we're going to go around and we're going to take a couple drops of each of your blood for this study. And there's a couple people kind of like looking, few who just look like it doesn't affect them at all. How would you guys be reacting to that news?
Have we heard of this before? Like, is this a common
Yeah.
practice, or?
Or how typical is blood with magic?
If you are proficient with Arcana, you may roll that. If you are proficient with Religion, you may roll that. If you're not
How about
proficient with
Mesmery?
either, you don't get either.
Can I roll twice if I'm proficient with both?
Ooh,
Pick one.
okay. I have Arcana.
It'll be the
I'm
same
gonna
roll for you, probably, unless you have expertise in one.
22.
22?
I got a 21.
21?
Arcana.
Nice.
And either of the other two? have history?
Well,
or
I don't
Arcana
I
or
don't
wisdom?
have those two, but could I roll insight on them as they're saying it?
Yeah, can I get I
Just
don't
see
have
if
either of
it's
those.
like
Okay.
shady.
Sure. You can roll an insight roll.
First Nora roll.
Wait, can I as well or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want to. Go for it.
It's amazing insight, but
So, Mike, what'd you get? 22?
22.
22? And Ash, what'd you get?
21.
Going? Okay. And what'd you each roll? Arcana or
10.
7.
Arcana.
Arcana?
Oh, sorry.
Arcana.
Okay, both Arcana. And what'd you get,
Yeah,
Rach?
me too.
I rolled a 10 on insight.
10?
I rolled a 7, so
Okay.
we're both a little clueless.
Yeah. I mean, you don't sense anything weird about what they're saying, but you are
Like,
open
be
to
fine with
your
them.
own judgment about their intention. You can assess that for your character.
Anna's shaking her head somewhere out in the universe.
I know. I was like, she can feel disturbance. Winnie though would be like, "It's just procedure, and I wouldn't really, yeah.
Mhm.
Like, okay.
Dav and Euphemia, you have, I mean, some understanding of magics that can be used to learn more about individuals and some deeper study of that. And then blood is like a definite connection point for a lot of different things to the person who it is. I mean, there's definitely spells that require blood even as part of their components. You're not specifically aware of any spell necessarily that this would be, but it doesn't really strike you as anything super strange. You'd guess maybe some sort of divination magic that would be involved in this.
Not like terribly insidious or suspicious.
There's nothing that would lead you to believe it's insidious now.
The boss battle happens and we get extra damage from it.
Yep.
That
Basically. But you watch as these individuals this 4 of them kind of split up to different parts of the room. And you lucky 4 at the table are going to have, see, the head guy, Fred Morgan, who kind of approaches your table. You get him as the one who joins you. And he walks up. All right, and he pulls out it's kind of a gemstone looking thing and begins to crush it up and starts to divide it up into 4 portions. So
Can I look at what kind of gemstone?
Yeah, what kind of gemstone is it?
okay.
If
Please
it
tell
matters.
us.
Not. I have a jeweler.
For this one,
at looking at gems.
if you have nature you're proficient in, I'll let you roll something
I
there.
bet that's me. Hold on. I need to double check.
Does my jeweler's background help at all in this one? Because magical gems.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna roll. Oh no, I rolled so low.
No.
7.
I feel like that's more of the tool knowledge rather than the actual gem knowledge for this. I'm
Well,
gonna say
under the jeweler's one, it talks about the gems. That's why. Like, you have proficiency on history, or I don't know if it's Arcana or history, but on gems. That's all. If it doesn't, if
Okay.
it wouldn't apply for him, it's fine.
I'll let you roll an intelligence roll if you want to, Dav. That. But what'd you
With or
get?
without proficiency?
You can have proficiency, sure.
I was low. I got a 7.
Okay.
It's 2. 18.
18. You're not familiar with this, either of you.
Wait, no,
Okay.
sorry, forgot my intelligence. 21.
21. You're still not familiar with this stone.
Okay, cool.
This is definitely an odd-looking stone. It's multicolored as the light hits it different ways. You're not really sure what this would be.
What kind of stone is that? Oh, trade secrets.
Yes.
Is that something we get to find out if we get selected?
Perhaps.
Cool.
There's just certain magic that you must understand. The Watchlight likes to keep it within our limited knowledge of, you know?
Artie takes out his dagger, pokes it, and just, oh, are you ready for the blood?
One moment, and he continues to kind of crush up the 4 different portions and divides them up.
If I may, sir, so what is it that you're trying to find out with this? I don't quite understand what this is or why you would need it.
As we mentioned, sometimes there's just some extra potential, maybe somebody in your ancestry that has some power. I mean, there are people who gain abilities from deities or from great powerful beings from the great beyond, or ancient dragons that have offered them there's knowledge that can be gained from learning about who you are, and this offers up a bit of understanding to us. So
I see. Is that required?
yes.
You trying to hide something?
No, I just find it a little invasive, that's all. I'm not sure.
Well, the door's over there if you don't want to be part of this.
I ask, once this information is acquired, who is it shared with?
Yes, that's what I was wondering as well.
And can we have access to it?
It's the 4 of us. You don't have much to worry about. Typically, it doesn't yield any major results.
Curious about this kind of thing, so like to know where that's going.
The 4 of us.
Okay. And do we have access to that information?
It's like, will you tell us what you find out, sort of thing?
If there's anything major, sure.
I see.
He'll kind of take some different vials and collect Dav's blood in one of them and sets it next to one of the piles of the crushed gem. Begins to look to the other 3 with another vial in his hand.
I'll do it. I guess I'll step up and
Okay.
put my hand out.
He'll take
It's worth risking the pursuit of knowledge, right?
take a bit of a dagger and cut into one of your fingers, and it begins to bleed a little bit. A few drops into the vial, and he collects it and puts it next to one of the piles.
And I'm sorry, the crushed gem was added to the vial of the blood, right?
Not yet.
Or no?
It's just sitting next to it right now.
Okay, I didn't know if it was added already. Okay.
He's kind of divided it up into 4 different groups right now.
I'm just gonna watch him really carefully while he does it, and just kind of like see what.
Sure.
Yeah, just watch him.
You two? Still interested?
I'd like to formally request the notes from this when you get them, even if they're not anything too interesting to you, for my own records.
Yes, I actually agree with that. I would love to know what results these yield, if you could.
Well, if anything major comes up, I'll let you know. He looks like he's already losing patience with you two.
What dear?
We haven't made the team yet. Don't make us look bad.
Yes. And I'll just however he was, I don't know how
He'll
he's
take
cut
the
the hand.
dagger and cuts your finger and
Yeah.
starts dripping a few drops in. Thank you. Puts it next to another pile.
I'll let him take the sample, but I'm gonna repeat myself that I'd like to request results.
Of course. He'll kind of reach out for your hand.
I'll let him take it. That's fine.
He'll slice into your
Let me
finger
know
as
if
well.
I need to send it in writing or whatever I need to do, but
Yes, I received.
The more Euphemia is talking, the more Eleanora looks impressed with her. She gives her this nod of approval.
Gets a few drops of your blood in the vial and puts it next to the 4th pile of the gem. All right. Well, he pulls out a little bit of a holder that has some slots. He puts the vials in, and he takes the bit of powder on the table, begins to sprinkle it into each vial one by one. Sort of begins to bubble, and he puts his hands over it and begins to chant a little bit. And you watch as the the vials begin to glow a little bit. His hands start to glow, and he just starts going kind of his hands over all 4 of them, closing his eyes, focusing in.
I'm trying to study the incantation as much as I can.
Okay.
I'm just gonna see if I
Also,
recognize it at all or anything
probably-
that's happening.
Okay. Yeah, this is, again, not knowledge you guys have ever seen before. None of you have seen this.
I want to study it. It's cool.
But his hands are over. He begins focusing. The vials begin glowing. Multicolored lights begin to float around, pouring out of him. As he's doing this, though, you watch as the vials begin to shake and some smoke begins to rise out of them. And he seems completely unaware of this as his eyes are closed. But you watch kind of as this is happening before him.
Is anybody else doing this to other vials, and is this happening to theirs as well?
You look around the room. You don't notice anything like this happen in any of their tables. And just he continues to chant.
Interesting.
And then you watch as he kind of like opens his eyes in shock as the smoke has reached his nose and the shakings become a little more violent. And just, and just all 4 vials explode and shatter, sending shards different places. There are moments where like the room is just filled with bright light. I need all of you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad.
Do I get saving by the gods?
If you want to use it, go for it.
No, I don't have it. 16.
17.
10.
So 16 Rach, 17 at
Oh wait, 10.
Ellie,
I'm sorry.
10
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe, and then Mike.
Oh no, I got 10, Mark.
You
We're
got
both 10, I read
You're
it
both
wrong.
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mike, what'd you get?
16.
16. Okay. Explodes out. Eleanora and Euphemia, you're both just blinded by this flash and not really sure what's going on. A little dazed in the moment. You all begin to feel a strange tingling sensation in your body. You feel kind of this static in the air around you. Winnie and Dav, you both are able to kind of open your eyes in the chaos of the moment. And as you do, you begin to watch as just floating sprites of red and green and blue and purples and pinks and all these different colors just floating around. All 4 of you, actually. And just kind of in the air, and they are bright for a moment and then they begin to fade as they kind of rest upon each of your bodies and almost look like they go in or are absorbed into you. But you feel this like weird static in the air. It's like your arm hairs are all standing up on end. All 4 of you feel that. That weird like buzz on the back of your neck, and
we're still blinded, like we don't see this happening.
after about 10 more seconds, you are able to start seeing again, but you don't see any of the colors.
Just the feeling.
You just have that feeling.
We still in the room and things.
You're still in the room. Everything's around. Everyone's
Yeah.
kind of like in shock. Fred's just like, I'm very sorry about that. That's typically not what
What just
happens.
What just happened?
That felt very strange.
It happens sometimes with spells, especially higher level spells. Never happened with this before, but it's known as a mishap. It happens sometimes. You'll get used to it the more you cast spells.
Mark, for me having I guess my background, would that reaction stuff, would I have seen that before, especially with like, would I have seen that before? Like have I, does this seem common or does it seem very not normal for what normally happens?
You
with,
can
like,
give me an
mishaps?
Arcana check if you'd like.
Can I do that as well?
2. Nope.
2?
No idea.
13?
13.
Yeah, 13.
Winnie, even though like you rolled the 2, you still base knowledge have heard that magic can be weird. Everybody's heard that. Dav, you have heard a little more details about how some higher magics have become more kind of iffy to be cast by some people. Like there's a fear with it because people have seen how they can go wrong in ways, and you've heard stories about that in your travels. About magic going weird. But at this point, as these orbs have now entered these bodies, this is where our chat involvement part of the game begins. As all our colorful names in chat over there now have a way to influence the party and their adventure going forward. So, at this point, I'm going to turn on some chat interaction channel points to be able to use to help affect the game. We will see what happens. One of these is called Suggest Magical Mishap, which is basically you can suggest essentially like a wild magic surge type thing, and I will take it into account and I will put it in a list where it can be added to the chart of randomly generated mystical mishaps, magical mishaps, and it may happen at some point if it's rolled. So we already have a raised mishap level thanks to Litka's chaos.
Of course.
So let me roll that in there. On screen now, there's also going to be an indicator for the level of the mishap is at. So there's low, and currently it's at medium. That static in the air is feeling a little like buzzing, like you feel like buzzing on your skin. So the higher the mishap level, the higher that it will be on screen, and the lower the mishap level, the lower it will be on screen. The level is based off of how likely a magical mishap or a mystical mishap is going to happen in the game. So I think right there is a good time to take our break, and we will continue on with the second half of the game here shortly. But thank you once again for everyone who's joined us in this first half, our first session in our new campaign. We really do appreciate you. If you are interested, you could join our Discord as well during the break, hang out with some people. And yeah, we will be back real shortly here to continue our second half. So see you all soon. All right, everybody, we're back. We've had some mishap levels going up and down. That has been adjusted. It is still at medium on the screen, as you can see. Feel free to continue that going. I also am going to add in now the advantage dice that was given so kindly by Dee to everybody, including the wrongly spelled Michael, because again,
There's Michelle in this world.
full-on dingus mode this week in my prep time, but you know, it's fine. That'll be fixed for next week. There'll be break screen music next week. Sorry, I'll do better next time. It's always something that falls through the cracks.
You're doing great.
But
Okay,
yeah, feel free to raise or lower that mishap level as much as you guys will want to, because who knows what could happen. It'll be a lot of fun. But all of our players have an advantage die, which means it's a reroll for some point when you want to reroll something. You get 1 per session. Once it's used, it's gone. If you don't use it during the session, you lost it. Too bad, so sad. So be sure to use it. And yeah, you all have one. You have a question?
Is that just for us, or is it like a luck dice where we can use someone else?
Just for you. It's affecting only you.
Cool.
All right. Any other questions as we get back into our second half? Okay.
Did you want to explain the mishap level thing that you just said before you went off?
Sure. So the mishap level is a number that I have written down here. It is a secret. Every time you raise or lower the mishap level, I will roll, like we just had a raise mishap level from Lit again. I'll roll it, a die, and I'll add or subtract, depending on what it is, to this number. And that will... I have a mechanic behind the scenes on how mishaps will happen based off of how high the level is. Cringe wants to lower it. Let's lower it back down.
This is our campaign now.
It's just
I
that.
it's just-
constantly.
If you guys want to burn through all your channel points doing that, that's totally fine. That's on you. This is part of that weird light thing that happened to all of you, is there could be warring lights within you and have different intentions for how things can work out. Not all mishaps are bad, too. Some mishaps are going to be very helpful to the party as well. So we'll see what happens. But we enter back in as this explosion has happened at the table. All 4 of your vials just shattered, and smoke is sort of rising up from them. And some of you are still just regaining your sight from the flash that happened. And Fred, the guy who's in charge, you're just... Okay, well anyways, we'll pass on that for now. We don't want that to happen again. I'll just trust that you all are average individuals. Begins to step away.
Fun.
Above average.
So we are going to begin with we have a few tryout tests we'd like to run people through. We'll probably do just 3 tonight to get this moving along. Don't want to be out too late. So, the first one is an assessment of your ability to handle yourself when a combat situation when things are around you. So we're just going to kind of pair you up randomly, and you're going to grapple each other and do your best to grapple the other person. And sometimes a monster will come along and you'll have to get them off of you, or they'll attack you. Sometimes you can hold on to one so somebody else can get a good strike on it. There's a lot of uses for this skill, so we're going to begin with that. So we have paired you up randomly. So it kind of goes to a sheet of paper, begins to look at it. First off, the first pairing is Nelith and Winnifred. You are the first pairing, and you watch as the tiefling girl just kind of like stands up and just like stares you down, like she's gonna
Got this.
take
Just
you on.
imagine you're learning something from her.
The second
Like, I
pairing.
lean over to... Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
I'm just gonna lean over to Euphemia and be like, "This is very... I didn't know that we were supposed to be doing this."
This is certainly not what I pictured for assessment, but maybe there's other areas that they just want to categorize people in. That's my guess.
I just think it's not respectable.
Well, fighting monsters isn't exactly respectable either.
Yes.
Second pairing
Touche.
is Travis and Eleanora. And you watch as one of the humans stands up at the table and just kind of like looks over and just puts his hand up to like wave to you for a second.
Give like a, hey, you know, type of...
You can take him. This will be awesome. You just see Dab smirking a little bit, just being like, I'm excited to watch this one.
Yeah, she just like sits up a little straighter and just like looks ahead.
The third pairing is going to be Bracken and Dav'Ril. And you watch as the half-orc stands up, just...
You know, wait for that one. All right. Question, is avoiding a grapple equally as important as getting into a grapple?
It's important, but you're assessed on both.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Fourth pairing is Thamda and Jorik, and you watch as the dwarf and the halfling both kind of like look at each other across the room. And the last pairing is Nagir and Euphemia. And the other human who's at the table kind of looks over and sees you and gives you kind of a head nod of greeting.
I would return it a little more like incline than a nod.
All right. So they start to get the center of the room sort of paired up, and they kind of get you all situated across from your opponent. So your goal is, we're just gonna go for maybe 30 seconds or so. Do your best to grapple the other person, and if you are grappled, do your best to escape. Very simple. That's how this works. But we're trying to see who is capable in this part of the, skill assessment. So get ready, and I need all of you to roll me initiative.
Oh my gosh, it's Eleanor's worst nightmare.
Oh no.
Mark, do you roll grapples as in the special attack, or is it like a separate action?
It's like a special attack thing, basically.
Okay, so it does count as attack. Okay. So I was thinking, for the sake of mobile, it says when you attack, whether you hit or miss, you can still leave without an opportunity attack.
Yeah, that's different though than like swinging a weapon or something.
It won't be this. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a replacement for an attack type of thing.
It's worth a try.
Yeah. But Euphemia, what did you get?
14.
14. Eleanora, what did you get?
16.
Nice.
Fine.
Dav, what did you get?
19.
Wow. We all going up, Winnifred?
14.
Nice.
Better than like the 2.
Y'all did pretty good though. Pretty good initiative.
Yeah.
Decent.
All right. So, we're just gonna kind of go through. You get your choice of acrobatics to dodge away, or athletics to try to grapple. And you can use athletics to oppose a grapple as well. It's gonna be back and forth type of thing like that. So I'm gonna they're all keeping score basically, and like monitoring you all and taking notes. So, you all get paired up. You're all kind of looking at your opponent across from you, and first up is, gotta move some screens because I got way too much going on over here. This is going over here for now. Okay. First up, we have Thamda, who is the halfling. They begin to go in for a grapple on the on the dwarf to see how they fare. Starts to move around, but Dav, you're up next. You're the next person to go. So you're standing across from the half-orc, who's just this huge individual, kind of looking down at you, ready to go.
No bad blood, but I'm rooting for you. I like your style. And I just run in, and he's gonna try and just give him around the waist or something.
Okay. You give me an athletics roll.
I was out of my thing. 19?
19. He still looks half asleep, and you're able to kind of get a hold on him as this happens.
Wasn't expecting that.
You just kind of look surprised as you rush over suddenly and grab onto him.
Go easy on me, please.
All right. Let me mark these down. All right. Next up, we have across from you, Euphemia. You have the human who's there. He kind of looks at you and just immediately goes in for a grapple on you. I need you to give me either athletics or acrobatics in defense of this.
Okay, I'm gonna do acrobatics.
All right.
Oh no.
He rolled a 22.
I got a 4. So.
All right. So he immediately just gets a hold on you and begins to grapple you. You are grappled currently by this human.
Surprise!
Eleanora, you're up next. You were staring down your opponent.
Join the club.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so she, like, as they're, like, walking up, like, she's trying to, like, be pleasant to this guy, but oh my gosh, she is just so, like, and so when they say go, she's like, oh God. So, and then she just, like, she'll try and go for it. It
Okay.
takes her, like, a second to bolster herself. She's trying to, like, mimic some things maybe she's seen in the past of, like, bodyguards do or something like that. So she'll try. So
All
what is
right.
that, athletics?
Athletics check for you.
Hey, I got a 19 though.
Wow.
Hey, twins.
Yes.
You get a grapple on this individual as well.
She looks very surprised.
Yes.
Dav almost lets go because he's surprised. All right.
All right. So you have a grapple on him. He immediately gets to retaliate, and he's going to attempt to break it. So give me another athletics check again.
Yeah, this one's a 5.
All right. Yeah, he busts out of your grasp now as he is clearly aware of what's going on and
Oh wow. Oh,
frees
yeah.
himself.
Oh wow. Okay.
That checks out.
All right.
Next up, we have Euphemia. So you are currently being grappled by your individual. You would need to acrobatics or athletics to get out.
Okay. I'm gonna try acrobatics again to get out. Let's see if I can do it.
All right.
17.
17. You are able to slip out at this point.
Okay.
Nice job.
Phew.
Don't worry about his half orc. The lower it is on the initiative, it means he's strong. He big guy. He ain't slow.
Okay. And Winnifred, you're up next. Athletics check to grapple your person.
Okay. Yeah. I think she'll kind of like nervously look around at everyone first to see like if everyone's actually doing it, and then just go for it.
Okay.
See how that goes.
Sure.
Nat 20.
Let's go.
So with my athletics, it's a 23.
23.
Nice.
Wow.
I rolled a nat 20 as well.
No.
The
That was my
first of the
point.
game.
What?
Maybe.
You are unable to get a hold of this person as she just dodges out of your way, just laughs at you.
Okay.
Dang, that's
Dang it.
I know, the first nat 20 is negated. Oh
That
no.
was glorious.
Oh, that's an
this is-
indication of how the
this
campaign's
is
gonna
a
be.
very
That's
indication of the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Everyone's yelling at you in chat, Mark.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
That's fine.
Rude.
She just kind of like smiles at you as you try to like grab on her, and she's gonna go immediately in to try to grab you. Give me
Okay.
athletics or acrobatics to escape.
Acrobatics, please.
All right.
I got a nat 20 again. I'm not kidding you.
All right.
I really did.
You
Wow.
dodge out of
I'm
the
not
way
joking.
as well as this is just
All right, maybe
back and forth
she's
between the
kind of
two
a
of you.
loser, but she's lucky. So we're gonna see. Continues.
I'll watch that.
Beginner's luck potentially. We'll see.
I'm gonna remove the two that are fighting each other because that seems kind of pointless to have a bunch of things for that in there. But and then Dav, as you're currently grappling this big half orc, he is going to attempt to break out. So give me an athletics check again, please.
It's gonna be fun. I will use my advantage die.
All right, using that advantage die for that. Sounds good.
That's a 1. 19 again.
19. This time he
So
just
I will-
explodes out of your grasp though and breaks free.
All right, figure that one.
and just it looks very angry right now. Like he's ready to go.
Buddy.
All right, Dav, we're back to you.
Cool. I just look over to the teacher. So is it escaping time, or do I need to try again?
Just kind of motions for you to get in there.
All right, buddy. And then I go after his leg.
All right.
I go to the ground and like try and get his leg.
Flex, please.
8.
8. He just kind of like
Just
hip
clean
checks
your
you out of the way, like as you dive down to his leg. He just like moves and bumps you with his hip out of the way, and you just go bouncing into one of the tables.
Oh,
I love this
that's,
imagery.
You are solidly muscular, my man. Oh, gets back up. Can I stay away now?
We have Nagir and Euphemia now. You currently escaped the grapple, so he's going to move back in to try to grapple you again. Give me athletics or acrobatics.
All right, rolling acrobatics again.
All right.
Ooh, 18.
18. I got a 21, so you are again
Ow.
grappled by this individual.
We're all gonna get kicked out.
Gonna be in and out, I think.
All right. Eleanora?
Yes.
So again, you're back to neutral. No one's grappled. So you gotta initiate this.
Just she looks like she hates her life so much.
So much.
But we're going back in again.
All right. Athletics.
Oh, I got a nat 20.
You got a nat 20 this time?
Go.
For a total of
20.
20. You just get a hold on him. You're scrappy.
Somehow.
She's doing great.
I love
She
this
looks
for
so
her.
surprised too. Like she's just like her own face is like, huh? She
It's amazing.
gets him again.
Yeah. So you have a hold on him as he again tries to break out. Athletics for you again, please.
Oh right, okay. A 9.
He busts out again.
Okay.
All right, okay. Dav getting relieved every time he sees we're on par with Eleanor. Okay, if I can just keep up with her.
Just gotta be her. I'll feel good about myself.
Euphemia, you're currently being grappled by Nagir. So I need athletics or acrobatics to try to get out.
All right, acrobatics to wiggle away.
Go for it.
Oh my gosh, that's a nat 1.
Oh no!
Or 3.
I
Yeah.
I'm
rolled one too. I
stuck.
used my advantage.
So you are still stuck, unfortunately, at this point.
That is okay.
And
More
Winnifred,
than one challenge here.
you are facing off against this tiefling who's across from you with this big smug smile on her face.
I'm gonna try again to grapple, I suppose.
All right, let's go.
Go for it. Oh, that's much worse. I forgot what athletics is. I'm sorry. Probably a big bunch of nothing. That would be a 7.
7, yeah. She just dodges out of the way of you again.
Okay.
She, as you move past her, she dodges and she goes in to try to like grab onto you. Give me athletics or acrobatics as well.
Acrobatics, please. And that would be a 24.
24. You dodge out of the way again. This is a back and forth. Neither one of you can get a
Yeah.
hold on the other.
Yeah.
We are back to Dav and Bracken. Bracken goes in, kind of bumped you out of the way, and now he's going down to
Whoa.
pick you up. He goes in to grab you with his athletics. Give me your choice, acrobatics or athletics.
You off my feet? 10. Or
10.
12. Acrobatics.
He just like picks you up off the ground, and you're just like swinging your
That's
legs.
cheating! Cheating, Judge! Judge!
You just, I got you. Just holds on to you.
Oh my god.
So he's got you picked up in the air. What do you do?
Okay, I think I've seen this in an animal do this before. I go limp and just try and fall through his hands.
Sure. Give me acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
That's a 5. As he just goes limp.
Yep. He's just hanging on your
grabs you
limp
like a
body.
child.
He's just like, it's okay, buddy. Just holds on to you.
Can we,
I kind of love him. He's
I love it too.
can
We have him
can we
on our
come to an
team.
understanding on this, my friend? Like, I make you look good, but you just don't totally embarrass me.
Shh, quiet.
Okay. Just going limp.
And I think Nagir still has you, Euphemia, right? You didn't break out. So,
Yeah, I'm stuck.
holding on to you. He's just maintaining the hold on you for now.
All right.
Eleanora,
Yeah.
again, he broke free.
Right. She almost seems like she hates that she has to keep being the one that's making the first move,
Yeah.
but she is like, all right, and then goes in again.
All right.
This one's a 3, so.
Yeah, this time he dodges out of the way and pushes you off of him with ease. Then like tries to grab onto your arm as he pushed you off and tries to pull you in kind of like backwards so you're facing away from him. With his athletics, give me acrobatics or athletics.
13.
13.
Acrobatics.
He successfully grapples you this time. And is hold on you
Okay.
now. Euphemia, you're still being held on by Nagir here.
Okay. Roll to escape, I guess.
Roll to escape.
Acrobatics.
Or athletics, your choice.
Yeah. That's an 11.
11. You successfully wiggle out
I did it!
Hey!
and have
Nice.
escaped from his grasp.
Okay, cool.
And Winnifred, you're still at this kind of stalemate between you and this tiefling.
Mhm.
Go ahead and make your
Going
roll.
for it again. Let's do it. 16.
16. She dodges out of the way again from you.
Ah!
Just back and
Okay.
forth, just like hand slapping away type of thing. And
And I'm sure she probably tries again.
yep, she goes right back in to try to
Okay.
grab you.
All right, let's see if she
So
succeeds.
athletics or acrobatics.
Definitely acrobatics, which probably 10. She probably succeeds.
And she does succeed. She finally gets a hold on you with this one
Okay. Okay.
and has a grapple in on you.
Okay.
The half orc just maintains his hold on you, Dav, holding you up.
Great.
Your turn again, Dav.
Oh, he doesn't need to roll to maintain it on his turn?
No, it's your action to get out, type of thing.
Oh, okay. I thought we were on his turn. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's not doing anything else. He's not like punching or anything.
That would be sad.
So, Dav knows he's not going to overpower this guy. He's going to try and wiggle into one of his pouches, and he has these little, like, coins that he can magically imbue with things. It's up to you if you'll let me do this, because I would have assumed in his travels, the way I was thinking about him using these was collecting different scents and things from animals and sounds.
Okay.
I was going to try and see if he can grab one and put it near his nose and spray like a skunk smell to give him like a disadvantage or something.
Sure, I'll give him a con save. I mean, it takes an action to do that thing, right? So,
Yeah.
okay. He looks pretty unfazed by your skunk smell.
Is it? Yeah, it's worth a try. That's all I had, buddy.
Nice try.
You know, trying to use the brain.
I've smelled worse.
He takes a sniff and he's like, I'm about to reset it with this smell.
And you escaped Euphemia, right? So you're back to neutral.
Yes.
All right, it's his turn. He's gonna go in for another grapple on you.
Oh boy.
Not the best roll, but we'll see.
Versus my
Yep.
roll. That's another 5.
Oh, well, it's enough to
Low
beat you
one.
then. So he
Yeah,
does good.
yeah. I'm rolling like really high and really low.
All right, so Eleanora, it's back to you. You
Yeah.
are you are neutral now, I believe, right? No, he's grappled you now.
No, he's
you.
grappled me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she is just like, this is so not respectable. And then she's like, tries to like get out.
Okay. Acrobatics or athletics?
9.
9. He still got you.
Yeah.
It's the first thing they agree on this so far. This is not respectable.
Yeah.
He just will hold on to you. And Euphemia can roll to escape if you'd like.
Roll to wiggle, escape. I'm gonna, yeah. It's gonna be, I'm gonna do acrobatics again.
Okay.
I got a 19 plus 2, 21.
Hey.
You wiggle out
Nice.
successfully.
Yay!
For now. Again.
Winnifred, now it's on to you. She's finally got a hold on you.
Wiggling. Oh, way.
All right.
That would be a 25.
25. Very nice. You wiggle out successfully.
Wow.
Okay. Can I go for it again, or is it not my? Oh, that was my turn.
That's your turn to get out.
Yep. Sorry, forgot.
She again tries to go to grab you. She has the advantage right now, so athletics or acrobatics from you as well.
Acrobatics, please. Can't count. 21.
21. You evade her again.
Okay.
And the half-orc will maintain his hold on you down. Just holding you there, just like, yep.
Yep.
All right. We're in the last round of this. Dav, you're up.
He looks over and sees his crew. Okay, going limp does work. I'll try and go limp again.
All right.
And wiggle out.
Give me another one of those rolls for athletics or acrobatics.
So I'm bouncing. Okay, 17.
17. He still got you. He just not even moving.
Really? After that one? Really? And then just stops again. Ready for the next round, Teach.
Nagir is going for you, Euphemia, because you broke out.
Here we go.
All right. Got a 17, and you gotta beat a 17 with your roll.
I did not.
All right.
We're back to another 3, so 5 again.
He grabs you again. Eleanora, you're up.
Hey. At this point, she's just silent and just wants this to be over, but I'll try one more time to get out of this.
All right.
2.
Nope. You do not get out. He maintains his hold.
The first form of friendship between Eleanora and Dav has now been established. This is
Humiliated in the grappling.
Euphemia, you can try to get out.
You can do it.
All right, let's try. Wiggling
got
again.
this.
19.
19. You wiggle out from his
Nice!
grasp.
Please.
I keep getting out, but he keeps getting me again.
Mm-hmm.
Winnifred, it's up to you now. You're free. Can you get a hold on her?
I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of her. We're gonna see if this works. Why not? 13.
Nah, that's another nat 20 from her. She dodges out of the way.
Okay.
And then she goes
Wow,
in for
she's
a grapple on
crazy.
you.
Acrobatics to see if I can get out. 22.
22. Again, you both just... Like, she
Okay.
almost got
Pretty
you, but you
equal.
just get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bracken just holds on to you, Dav. Just like, it's okay, starts patting your head. As,
I don't get to roll out of it.
not on his turn, no. That'd be on your turn, which was at the start of the round. And they call and they say, okay, that's enough, we've seen enough. And everyone releases, and there's some notes being taken by the 4
I like
spectators.
fix my hair back. Like straighten my clothes, just trying to bring back some dignity.
Let me put
Bracken,
in your
well
final
done.
scores.
Good.
Yeah, you did
Give
great.
him a handshake.
You did a great, man.
Thanks. Is that Bracken with a C or a K? Not that I'm...
Okay.
Just embarrassed. Just walks away.
But yeah, they kind of take some notes, discuss the moment, the 4 heads of the different monster hunting groups, and they say, well, that was very interesting. On to our
Good.
second one. We are going to test your knowledge of various plant life, minerals, things like that. So
This is more like it.
they kind of have this display at the front of the room, and they're just like, we'd like you to go through and identify all the items listed with the number associated with it. So please go down the line and turn in your results when you're done. So we kind of give you all a piece of paper and allow you to go through. So for this one, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you roll some rolls, and I'm going to take your totals and write them down to see how well you recognize some of these items.
Written exam.
It is a written exam.
Immediately looks more relieved though
Yep.
than the
Our
other
whole
one.
table just sighs a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, okay.
Phew.
We got like from 100% like to 50% because she just like us looking at the plants like.
Just look over
Eager
and like,
looking, I would
definitely
say.
not getting onto the Dragonborn's team. I think he really likes the grapple. I think that's his idea.
All right. So first up, I'm going to start with Rach. I'll just
Okay.
ask for 2 nature and then 2 arcana rolls.
Okay. 18,
18
6,
and 6, and then 2 arcana,
12,
12,
18.
18. All right.
Nice.
Ashley, you're next, 2 nature and then 2 arcana.
Okay. I got a 23
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
and a 22
Very nice.
Ooh.
Okay. And
on the
arcana.
nature, and then arcana. I got a 9
Okay.
and a 19.
Very nice.
Wow.
There you go.
Nice.
You may have gotten grappled, but
I have
Yeah,
you got it up
here. See?
I can do these things.
Kelly,
yeah.
you're up next. 2 nature and then 2
Oh.
arcana.
I got nothing to help me out here, so we're just straight rolling. Oh, I got a nat 20. The first one.
Let's
course,
go.
of course.
There, nat 20, I don't know what's going on. My riot dice have transferred nicely over to Winnie. 9.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
And 6.
And 6. And then Mike, 2 nature, 2 arcana.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Nature, 21.
Okay.
And 16.
Okay.
And Arcana would be not almost max, 24.
24.
And then you would mess me up on that one. 15.
All right.
Dice, come on. Man.
So there you go. You each have varying feelings of confidence as you fill out your forms and turn them in. They kind of look at them and look to be grading them. Do you have a question?
Yes. Do I recognize any of these plants? I would be desperate to know.
Yes. You definitely recognize these plants. They're pretty common.
Okay.
For your practices, they're not super common to everybody. Like, they're a little
Right.
lesser known, but you definitely recognize
Okay.
them from the...
And they look normal-ish to what I would recognize anyway.
Generally, yes.
Okay.
They're like what you'd expect them to look like. But yeah, each of you kind of have varying degrees of success in being stumped. And they say, okay, that's a good assessment there. On to our final test this evening. And we're going to go outside for this one. He leads you outside to the front, and it's dark now outside. The sun has set. It's not too late in the evening, but the sun is definitely down at this point. And shadows are through the city. There's still like lamps that are lit up through various means down kind of a walkway that is in front of this building. But he says,
He got another one of those coins and light it with like a little 5-foot radius as he's twirling it in his hands.
he takes you out and he says, what we're going to do now is we are going to test your tracking skills. and see how well you do with that. For each of you, we've prepared a bird that is trained to fly to a certain location, and your goal is to track it to that location. Understood? It's not too far away. You get 2 minutes to get to the bird and bring it back. Understood?
Good enough.
All
Is it a
right.
crow?
They look like pigeons.
Thank you. I like pigeons. I think they're nice.
Little pigeon.
We were
Very
just talking
nice.
about the riot last time.
Yeah, the crow. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I love.
Friend.
I like animal friends. What can I say?
I love the one gooping with tar and grossness.
He was nice. He didn't know. It's not his fault.
All right. So the first wave of people go, and eventually each of you get up to a turn because they have limited numbers of birds. So they keep the ones who are not going inside, and they're brought outside to go track once it's your turn. So I'm again just gonna have you guys roll for this to see how you do with tracking the birds. So we're gonna start off with, we'll do the opposite order. We'll do Mike first.
Ooh.
And for the purpose of this, I'm gonna say you can either do it would be perception roll, I think, at this point, with it being flying. It is dark out though, so if you do not have dark vision, you will be at disadvantage.
Ew.
Or your
So I'm at double disadvantage.
there you go. You're just at disadvantage.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
give me your perception rolls,
Could have done it during light when it was easier to see, but alright.
and you hear the dragonborn just be like, "Monsters come out during the night more. Get used to it."
Alright. Not the worst. 13 perception.
Okay. Give me another one. As you kind of head off in a direction where you think the bird flew off to.
And we're still only doing perception, or we can use survival instead?
For this, it's just perception.
Just perception, yeah.
There's nothing else to follow at this point.
I figured, yeah. That's the nat 20. Let's see what the second roll is. 16?
16 total.
Yeah, I got +0 on both of these.
Give me one more. Give me one more.
That's a 15 and a 14.
14. Very nice.
Oof.
You finish in a decent time.
I do
You
have extra 10 feet of movement, so I'm a little quicker
You're
as well.
quick.
If that helps out.
You're lucky to have that because it helps you just see the bird in some cases where like you kind of hear it and just like, okay, I heard it that way. You almost lose track of it, but you start to right your course. You find the bird kind of in its little cage with the door open that it flew into, and are able to close it and bring it back. But it's definitely
Out of breath.
a bit of a struggle for you to beat. You do it. Kelly, you're up next. Give me a perception roll.
Perception roll. And I have superior dark vision, which means I can see up to 120 feet. So I don't know if that matters.
I'll just let you have
Okay.
a straight roll for your
Just straight roll,
perception
okay.
rolls.
Okay. I'm sorry, 2 of them or just 1?
There'll be 3 back to back.
3. I'm sorry. Can I use my advantage dice?
You may, if you'd like to.
That was a nat 1.
All
I'm
right, we will
not gonna keep that.
we will use your advantage die.
Oh, it's my perception. I literally just looked at it and now I've forgotten. 3. That'd be a dirty 20.
All right.
Is all of us talking like Rachel already?
Sorry, I'm going to copy me.
10.
10. Okay. And your last one.
19.
19. So you set off right in the direction, knowing where the bird is going, and then it gets behind a building, and you start to lose sight of it. You're just like,
Can't see it.
and then you kind of lose track of it.
In general?
Yep.
Okay.
So the DC changes based off of success or failures, and eventually you have to be found and brought back to
Okay.
brought back, and just, it's okay. It happens.
I'm very
Everyone gets
quiet too.
Oh, baby.
Ash, you're up next.
And just normal disadvantage, right? Because it's dark.
Yep.
That is a 6 for the first one.
All right.
Oh boy. I'm gonna use my advantage die.
You will also use your advantage die. Let's go.
How would I roll that in this case? Just a
Just a
reroll?
straight
or-
roll.
Okay.
Just give me one roll, yeah. One more roll for
Okay.
this.
Ooh, that was a 20, so that is 24.
24, okay.
You stop.
And then one more.
Right?
This one's a disadvantage again.
And- Yes, okay, so that's 10.
10. Okay. You immediately lose sight of the bird as it flies off. You're just like, oh boy.
Oh,
And you just
no.
start going in the direction you thought you saw it go, and you're hoping. You are so lucky, like, as you run, you hear the bird flutter, you're like, that's where it went. You start hustling after it. And you get to a location where you look, and there's no bird there. And you're not sure if you heard the
Wow.
bird now. You're, like, questioning yourself, and you have to be
Yeah.
found and brought back, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah.
And Rachel, you're the last one.
All these. Every trial, she's like, okay. Like, you could tell she was really thinking there's going to be, like, some magical abilities on display, and instead we're, like, tracking birds and doing this stuff, so she's trying to put her best foot forward, so I have dark vision,
You do.
by the way, so.
Yep.
mhm.
So, go ahead and just roll
It's a
straight.
straight roll. Okay. 3 of them, perception?
Actually, it will start a straight one. We'll see how things go, because yours is only 60 feet.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
we'll see how it goes, and I'll tell you what you'll be rolling after that.
8.
8. At your disadvantage. For your
Okay.
perception rolls.
13?
13. Another disadvantage one.
9.
9. You have no idea where this bird went from the start. You're just
I
lost.
just kind of wander around until I'm brought
Yeah.
back.
Magical babies have returned.
You are brought back to the group, and they let everyone else run through, and then they have you all sit back down at your tables, and we're going to take a moment to discuss, and we'll let you know our results in a moment here. So they all start to converse with each other.
These were
There's
not
always-
what I thought they would be.
I didn't do very well. I don't think I'm gonna get on any sort of team.
You kind of get used to failing after a little while. It's fine.
I thought I'd be
move on,
used to it
find
by
a new
now.
job.
It always feels bad though.
It does sting. You know, maybe we all go get a drink after this or something, just to kind of smooth over the failure.
I mean,
wouldn't
we
mind
can't all
that.
be good at everything. That's just how it works.
I want to be good at something.
You're good at some things, I'm sure. They just haven't tested you for it yet.
You held yourself rather well in that abhorrent grappling thing that happened. You did very well.
I got out, I think, but you did really well actually.
Oh, never think of that again. Thank you.
Please, I don't want to speak of that ever again either.
You had it tough though.
Understand.
That guy was really big.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't had a hug in a while, so I mean, it wasn't the worst, but I mean, still not the way I'd ask for it though.
All right.
Couldn't really see much of what was going on, but I'm glad we all came out of it in one piece.
That's true.
They begin to call some of the people over. And just they take them out a back door to discuss with them, and they don't come back in after they do that. The person who leaves from the group, and they start calling out more. Your table looks like they're being left to be the last table who gets the results, as all the other 6 get called out and depart as far as you know.
Could be good, could be bad.
They come back in and they call Winnifred.
Okay. Kind of shuffle over to where they are.
So they take you out
Kind of
back.
hunching. Okay.
The four kind of stand in front of you in the garden that's outside. There's a bit of a torch light going out there. The leader again of the group, the spokesperson Fred, begins to speak. Winnifred, definitely saw you were very inquisitive and clearly taking a lot of notes. You did fairly well on your assessment of knowledge. We just don't think you're the right person we're looking for at this point. You don't really seem to fit what we're looking for in any of our groups. Maybe if you bulk up a little bit more, handle yourself a little better, next time we'll find you in a group.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Okay. Start shuffling away.
And they kind of motion for you to like go like off to the side of the building, out to the front. They come back in. Euphemia. Okay, bring you out back. We were optimistic about you from the start. You clearly have a knowledge of the plant life that we displayed before you, which we're impressed by. But again, you missed the tracking. We're not impressed with your grapple abilities. We're going to pass on you.
I understand. Thanks for sharing this opportunity, and hopefully you find the people you're looking for. I square my shoulders a little bit.
Fred seems just a little just kind of like dismissive of you, just like, yeah, get out of here type of thing. Like, clearly seems to have some sort of underlying grudge with you that you can pick up on.
Give him a little side eye when I leave.
Maybe played into the decision. Who knows? But they come back in with the two left, Eleanora and Dav. Dav'Ril, please join us outside.
That lady sings. All right. Good luck, Eleanora.
Thank you, Dav'Ril.
They bring you out back.
You don't even need to bother. I'm not in, right?
The Dragonborn individual just like gives you like a punch in the shoulder, like, you be respectful.
Sure. Yep.
And Fred just kind of like, the woman there, Lexi, just, I'm sorry about him. Yes, you're not what we're
He's
looking
my
for.
favorite. It's fine. Yeah.
And he just gives you a glare again. Just calm down, Porter. Yes, we're going to pass on you as well. Thank you for coming. And Porter's like, I know what you are. He kind of like points to the eye.
Well, everyone does fear the unknown. You'll be surprised eventually. Good luck.
And you walk out the side. They come in for you, Eleanor.
Okay.
Bring you out back.
I'll walk over. Standing as straight and poised as I can.
Fred looks at you. Surprised someone like you would come out here to try this.
Yes, well, sometimes life just takes you that direction, I suppose.
You are, in a lot of ways, the complete opposite of what we would expect to see here.
Yes, well, I am quite determined.
Well, maybe that determination can help you elsewhere. We're not gonna have you join any of our groups. We do wish you the best of luck, though, in your future ventures.
Any way you could reconsider. I have many magical abilities that might be able to aid that wasn't even demonstrated in these trials, and like I said, I am very determined.
Try again next time. How about that? Come back.
Well,
Maybe you'll fit a need we have in the future.
when is next time?
We'll probably do it in a month or so, another tryout. I don't know.
Is there anything I can do?
Give me a persuasion roll.
Eleanora, I'm gonna use my advantage.
All right. The final advantage of the night.
I got a 14.
All right.
So I just is there anything I can do? This is.
I'm sorry there's nothing we can do at this point. But as you're sitting there, you notice the guy with the hat, Calvin, just kind of he looks up at you, just kind of looks back down as you ask that. But Fred's just, please, don't make a big scene. People get rejected all the time. It's not anything wrong with you personally. It's just, you're not right for us. So, thank you again for trying out.
She looks like she's about to fight it, but she holds her tongue and says, "Thank you very much for the opportunity." She walks with just this really grim step.
You could also probably hear when they say "don't make a scene." There's Dav off in the distance, kicking one of their bushes, and
The group starts to head inside. Fred walks in first, Porter right beside him. Lexi kind of watches you all walk off, but begins to follow in. But Calvin, again the guy with the hat, just kind of lingers back for a second, watching you walk off, Eleanora. And he begins to follow after you. And starts to
Yeah, I'll just kind of
lead you back towards the front of the building where you would exit off the side. I'm not sure if everyone else would have waited, because you all kind of talked about meeting up at the end, but you watch as, first up, when you walk up, you're rejected, you wait. Euphemia comes, rejected, up there as well. Followed
And
shortly.
we were the only ones who were rejected, right? Out of the whole group.
You don't know. You don't know what
yeah,
happened to the
sure, I
others.
think, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if we were the only one.
But you guys meet at the front of the building. In the
you
street.
too, Ellie.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, Eleanor. It's really long.
Oh, yes.
Does that
No,
bother
I
you?
didn't- I don't care. No, I did not make it.
But Kelvin approaches
time.
you all.
Oh.
You four are all pretty determined to join, aren't you?
Yes.
We were.
How badly do you want to join a monster hunting group?
Very badly.
I will do anything to get into it, if that's what you are asking.
If it's not through this company, I find another one if I have to.
I've had many doors shut in my face, but I've also taken an eye for the pursuit of what I want. No one questions my ambition.
Tell you what. If you all are really that determined, maybe there's a way. find the hider in the guild in the Lower West District. You can figure that out. Maybe you got a chance.
Haida, are you talking about your guild or is the...
No, I mean, I work with the Red Blades. I don't know what you're talking about. And he starts to walk back inside.
I'm sorry, Mark. You said find the hider in the guild in the what, like lower something side? Is that what you're saying?
Lower West District.
Lower West District.
You guys wanted an opportunity. We got one.
Yes.
I think this is worth looking into.
Does anyone know what this means? Right off the bat?
Lower West District. I know
Well,
what that
yes, we can...
Yeah.
Wait, I know what
I
that
would
means.
let Eleanora, you can roll a history roll,
Sure.
and
Oh, can I as
Winnifred,
well,
you can
'cause I
roll a
have-
history roll.
Yeah.
Both you two can.
22.
Me too.
means.
8.
So Winnifred, you're not really sure what that means exactly, but Eleanor, you know that this is a district in the city of Heaven's Reach. Like, it is something that is part of the city, down kind of in the southwestern area of it. It's not super popular, and it's not like very well respected in a lot of ways, but it exists there. You know where it is.
Yes, well, it is a district in Heaven's Reach. I know where it is.
Have you been there?
It's... I've passed through. It's not the most respectable place to frequent, but it... You know, we could be down there. It's easy to get to.
Is it far from here?
Is it, Mark?
I mean, it's a little bit of a journey, but you can get there with the transport system they have fairly quickly.
I mean, it's not that far. I can show you if you three want to
Go
try and
now?
work together, I suppose. I know we've just met, but I wonder if none of us would fare that well by ourselves, judging from how miserably we failed today. In various areas, of course. You all had some strengths that shone too.
You guys mind if I come along?
Oh, you're lovely, Winnie. Yes, please come.
I just got. Wow.
Maybe
That's
we
easy.
can maybe we can solve this in a way that puts our actual strengths on display.
Yes. Yes, what was any of that? I've never done any of that.
I know I did bad with the bird, but I do have some things that can help, track stuff and look for things. So
Yes,
you guys seem to have magic. I don't know. I think it'd be good.
magic would help. I can conversate rather adequately. Get people to listen to me. Get some information, perhaps.
We have a lot more charisma than most of the wizards I've met, so that's pretty impressive. Gets you
No,
going.
thank you. Yes, I find I try to be well-rounded.
I'm normally a bit of a loner traveler, but I've recognized a lot of strengths that I personally see as strengths in all of you as well. So I'd be more than happy to at least work together in this agenda. I'm not sure what all of yours full-time goals are, but long-term. But either way, I don't think it matters. We've had many doors shut in our faces, what it seems.
This
Sort of
seems to
was
be
my
the
launch.
one kind of left ajar, so
Yes.
Plus, our minds together are going to be much stronger than the other bronze that they just let in there. Though Bracken seemed nice, but he's not going to figure out any magical formula anytime soon.
True.
Actually, maybe not. You know what? I'm quick to judge on that one. We'll see. Door's still open and all.
You never know. He might be brilliant.
He could be. That's what I was going to say. I'm a little quick to judge.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
What do you
I
say?
mean, yes. I say we try it out.
Should we go now?
Why not?
Oh, yes. I do not want to delay.
All right. So the four of you begin heading to the southwestern part of the city, taking the transport there. And those words of Calvin kind of ringing in your head. Find the hider in the guild in the Lower West District. As you approach, you get let off.
Sorry, you said it's find the hider in the guild or of the guild?
Find the hider in the guild in the Lower West
Guild.
District.
Just making sure. Cool.
Okay.
But it's somewhat of a less developed part of the city from what you're seeing. There's less lights that are even on around here as you're walking down the street. The buildings are pretty modest looking. It's not really a lot of things going on here. It's not like a lot of like restaurants or taverns or things like that are in this area. It's pretty quiet on the streets as you go through. You see the occasional person like walking by, but not a lot going on here. It's kind of a odd looking place to you. But anything you're looking for in particular as you go through here?
I think any sign of a guild, like anything that'd be like markings or anything that would like indicate like a group or something like that. I don't know. Or even like listening to people as like I don't know, anything like that.
Is there any like specific terms or sites you're looking for as you're going through?
Terms or well, I guess what would my base knowledge be of like guilds in Heaven's Reach? Like, are there a ton of them? Or are there just a few? Like, is there anything like, would I know anything about?
I mean, guilds can form all types of variety.
Yeah, I didn't know if like in this city there was like you know, a few really large ones, or like that was just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of up to your interpretation, I think, on what you think the guild in this riddle he spoke to you would mean.
I would also be looking at signs for guilds and also just like any medical facility type stuff, just out of curiosity, like what's available in this area of town.
Okay.
Like clinic-y kind of.
Either of you two?
Two things, if that's okay, or do you want me to just pick one?
You can give me kind of a range.
So one thing I would be looking for is like like places where people might be gathering, because I'm not sure if hider means like hiding in plain sight, or then the other thing it was like maybe looking for like places that people might actually hide, like in the street or in various locations.
Sure.
So those are my two I'm looking for.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, Dad's gonna be more looking around for anything monster hunting or trapping related, but then more specifically, because he can see the others looking around, he's more looking for ones that would seem hidden in the normal eye. So something that might not at first glance seem like a guild, but could maybe serve as something, but just as like smaller symbols that would recognize what they're about.
Okay. I want all of you to give me perception rolls.
Straight rolls or disadvantage because it's dark for the people who don't have.
If you do not have dark vision, just disadvantage for that, please.
I would actually. I know you guys are humans, right?
Yeah.
I would be like, here, let me assist, and I will cast a light.
All right. What school is that again? Evocation.
I've had to use light for ages. Karis didn't have it. It is. I don't know where to find this. Evocation, yes.
Yep. Okay. You cast light. You feel kind of that staticky buzz around you as you cast your spell.
Is that normal? Or
This
is
is
it
different.
since the thing?
This is different now since the thing.
Ugh, I do not like how that feels. That's a static feeling. Is that what you all felt after that explosion?
It is
was weird.
actually.
Yes, I've just felt that again when I cast
Prickly,
it.
kind of.
Ugh. Very unpleasant. Anyway, here you go. And I cast it on, I have a handkerchief.
Okay.
Like embroidered. It has initials on it. And I hand it to you. There you go. You can borrow that. Please, I would like it back, though.
Of course. Thank you.
So you have a light source now. You can roll straight.
Sweet.
I got 17.
Yeah, I've got a 6.
Okay.
17
I
from.
also got a 17.
Only looking at one half of the
Winnie.
road, you know.
Ash, you got 17. You said.
Mm-hmm.
Rach. Rach.
Forget.
15?
15.
13.
13. Okay. So as you're all walking through the streets, again, there's not a lot going on here. There's a lot of buildings that look a little empty. Kind of begin to peek maybe in some of the windows to see if there's any movement inside. Anybody hiding inside. But they all seem pretty dark and cold and empty. Euphemia, as you look around, there's not a lot of medical things here either. Again, it's not like a super commerce-y looking area of town even. It's pretty simple. There's housing here. Maybe like some storehouses occasionally as well. But not a lot. Dav, as you're looking around, you're just not seeing much of anything here. This is like, how is there a guild here? There's not even like taverns. There's like nothing going on here. Same thing for you, Eleanor. This is definitely a very strange place to think that this would be the right spot. Like you both kind of even question, like, are we in the right place? But you're walking down the streets, continue to look for any sign of anything. And Winnifred, just as you're walking along, by chance, you kind of like glance at one of the lone buildings that have like a light on inside, and there's a sticker on the front of it in the window in the upper right corner that just kind of glance at as you read, and it says guild on it. Just like as you kind of glance, you just realize you saw the word guild on that sticker.
I really point. I'm like, guild.
Huh?
I'm gonna like go over to the sticker and I'm gonna open my notebook and like write down what the symbol looks like. That was like, whatever the symbol was with the guild. Or is it just a guild?
As you get closer, it just looks like a seal type thing, and it has more words to it.
Okay.
And it says, proud member of the Quilters Guild.
Quilters Guild, maybe? I don't know. Can I look inside and see what is there anything like inside?
You take a look inside. There just looks like a lone woman who's there kind of working. There's a bunch of cloth hanging everywhere. Different quilts being made.
Open?
Wait. Yeah, what about this?
Yeah,
This wasn't him just trying to tell us to not go monster hunting and take up quilting, is it? Because that's a really bad joke.
Someone
That'd be
hiding
really
in the
mean.
Well, we could try and talk to her and see if she knows anything, at least.
Should
I
you
vote
do
you.
Yes, I think you should talk.
If we want to
Anyone in
talk,
there?
if we want to search the area, that's all right too.
Doesn't hurt.
But I can go in and see if we're supposed to see if there's a hider. I don't understand. Does anyone have any idea what that's supposed to mean?
Nope.
Could it mean something like, what if we're talking quilts and fabric, could it mean like hides, like animal hides?
Oh, perhaps.
Something
Yes.
Does
hiding.
she hides? Does she do leather? I don't know.
Yeah. Might not even be a person. What if it's an object?
That too.
Very true.
We'll find out till you talk. And I just kind of half push Eleanor towards the door.
All right, I'm going. You do not need to hassle me. I've been manhandled quite enough today.
That is true.
Like, you all keep an eye out, perhaps, and I will walk in.
Okay. You go to kind of try to open the door, and it does seem to be locked right now.
Oh, is it late?
Late.
It's later.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you do see her inside.
I'll knock.
She'll pause and put down her quilt and begin to walk over. It's a woman just in a nice, like, dress that she's wearing, brown hair, begins to approach.
Wait, really fast before as she's coming to the door, I'm gonna like poke Eleanor and be like, see if you can see the lower west side of the quilt. Just in case.
Lower west side. All right. Keep your eye off on us as well.
Okay. I'm gonna like peek through the window.
That's gonna turn so his face can't be seen by this woman.
Okay. She unlocks and opens the door. Yes, can I help you?
Hello. I am so sorry to intrude. I'm assuming you're closed for the night.
Yes, we're closed. Come back in the morning if you need anything.
I was wondering if I could take a moment of your time. I had just a question.
What is this
My
in regard
name is
to?
Eleanora, by the way.
What is this in regard to?
Eleanor's like, well, we're trying to find something called a hider for a guild.
Her eyes open up as you say that. I see. Come in.
Oh, thank you.
You most know all of us.
Just
or
like-
just-
I'll be like, usher you in even.
I will take. I'll take the clay back out and form it on his face, covering it up, and cast Disguise Self again.
All right, first level.
Feeling the static
Alright.
electricity.
You definitely feel like a sudden spike. All of you do as this happens as well. As the energy is whirring around you. As that happens,
I guess.
we get our first mishap to happen. So yeah, let me roll that.
Deal.
Here we go. We have an emote too. It's a mishap emote, so it's fun. I made that.
Ooh.
Very fun.
All right, let's find out what the first mishap's gonna be. All right.
Rachel.
What is?
That is the weirdest one ever, but okay, sure.
Oh, good.
Wow, okay. All right. So you feel like this surge of energy go out from you, Dav, as you cast that, kind of washes over everybody, and you all kind of feel that strange, staticky feeling as that happens, and then the buzzing goes down a little bit as you do that.
Did we notice anything
Yeah,
else?
just anyway, we see her.
Ugh.
You don't notice anything.
Love that.
I just kind of exchange looks with like, I guess Winnie's right next to me. Like exchange looks with Winnie's like kind of like a, did you feel that sort of
No,
like
it's
look?
And then I guess I'll look and I'm gonna like kind of check myself and stuff and just see if, yeah, everything seems fine.
When someone casts a spell and we feel that, can we, if we feel it, can we feel where it's coming from? Or is it just a generalized?
It's just around you. Yeah, it's just like
Okay.
surrounding you.
So they don't necessarily feel or know that I cast it. I mean, until they see
Well,
my face.
We look at your face and see. if
Well,
it's
yeah. Well, for sure. Yeah. I just wasn't sure. Yeah, like bouncing off what you said. If
I mean,
we feel
Right,
Your
it's like a
your
tone
casting
or-
has a verbal component and stuff, doesn't it? So
True. Yeah.
you
yeah.
definitely
True.
notice he cast a spell,
Mm-hmm.
and then you felt that
Just-
happen right after, like that wash over you.
side eye him a little bit.
After you.
Smile.
Step in.
At this point, I will say, Eleanora, everybody in this room, the three other people in the party, you feel a bit more kind of like, wow, I really like these people. Like, I really enjoy, like, I like what they're saying. Like, I'm much more open to everything they say.
Us in the party, you
Meanwhile, Euphemia, you're definitely feeling a lot more opposed to everything everyone's saying. You're just kind of like, I don't like this. I'm not a fan of this. So
Okay.
that's where you're going with this conversation as you enter into it.
What's happening?
Dav as well. You also are very more open to everybody as well.
Oh, this is great.
So that's where we are with
Do I
this
feel anything
conversation.
or no?
You don't feel anything at this point,
Okay. All right.
but the woman lets you in. The hider, you say?
Yes.
Interesting. Where did you hear this?
We heard it from Calvin. I don't remember what I forgot the name.
Calvin of the Red Hand. Or Red Blades. The Red Blades.
Red blade.
Red
Red
Blades.
Blades.
Yes.
Of the Red Blades.
Ah. Monster hunters, are you?
Attempting to be, yes.
Academics, all trying to find, various methods. Monster hunting seems to be the one that'll take us. And good old Winnifred here, Winnie, sorry, because I don't know Winnifred. Winnie showed us stick on your window. So.
Yes.
Well, that does show you are capable. Yes, I am the hider.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you.
Can I see if she's lying or telling the truth?
Sure, you can roll an insight roll.
That's nice.
Skeptical
That's
over
good.
there.
Wait, actually, can I as well? Because I feel like I just want to see what her mood is. She's like,
Sure, go for it.
like she seems kind of, I don't know, sus about us.
Alright, I got a 17.
Oh wait, do I have any insight? I miss my old insight stats.
I love not having the inside dad. Don't care.
Uh, 30
Everyone
20.
seems rather nice.
I mean, neither one of you sense she's lying to you or anything.
Okay.
Being
Seems
weird.
straightforward.
And I was more sensing her mood. Like, is she seem like,
You would get a
Like
sense of
suspicious thoughts,
excitement
or-
almost.
okay.
Um,
Did you mean hide? Are you the hider? As in you like do animal hides and stuff? Is that what it means?
no.
Oh,
It's an old nickname I had back in my monster hunting days.
you were a monster hunter?
I was.
Cool.
Yes. My name's Heidi. And
Hide.
that's where the hider came in. Yes, it's very cute.
Original.
But yes, I used to do some work like that back in my younger days. And Kelvin was aware of my interest in making my own group at some point.
We're looking for a group too.
It's all coming together, isn't it? Wonderful. He feels confident that you are capable enough to do this, I guess. That he would send you my way.
Confident enough to send him your way. Yep.
Determined enough, I would say, as well. Yes.
Determined, okay.
And these three are very capable as well. I think that they have already shown some very impressive skills.
Some of us, different areas than others.
Negatively. She said negatively.
Some of us.
Let me guess. You all went to try out and you were all rejected.
Yeah, we didn't do very
Yes.
well.
They were very much not what I expected, I suppose.
I also think their testing was narrow-minded towards more of the muscular attempts. We have various other skills that our brains can help us overcome those obstacles.
There are monsters also that will want to eat your brains. And sometimes you need a little muscle to prevent that from happening. But that could be true, that there may be ways that you all can use other means to be successful. What are all your skills?
I
You
can
mean-
punch things.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Punch things.
I am so sorry.
I can punch things.
Really?
And I'm fast. Pretty good at it.
Yeah, I like you even more and more every time you talk.
That's one of the things actually. I said I wasn't good at anything. I'm not great at punching, but I'm not horrible at it either, so pretty okay with that.
Punching, okay.
She was rather quick as well in the trials. When I was glancing at her, anyway.
Wonderful.
I tried. I didn't completely succeed, but I tried.
Where are the rest of you?
I'm an academic of sorts. I use my brain. And in the pursuit of any of the arcane, I currently can use them to enhance and tinker, but I want more.
Ah. Cast spells, okay.
Yes, I do. And he'll wave his hand and dismiss the disguise self.
Oh, my, oh.
Hopefully this isn't a problem, though. Sorry, I didn't know you were who you were, so I was preemptively making sure.
Don't see why that would be a problem. Unless you have a problem with it.
Oh, I certainly don't, but I've had many doors closed and sadly, many children cry at it. I find it quite beautiful, to be honest.
Let's see. I'm gonna put up the FPC art because I totally forgot to do that.
I literally was like, I was working my butt off
Yeah.
this week. Where's the NPC
There's
art?
the NPC art.
Come on.
Yep, there it is. Saving my marriage right there. Yes. So,
Oh, she's cool.
Oh, yeah, I was picturing an older lady. Okay, cool.
all right. And you? Points to Euphemia.
I know a fair bit about plants and how to use them, and the world and how to interact with the natural forces here.
All right.
I don't mean to be direct. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Does no one want to hear? Oh, that's fine. No one needs to hear. That's fine. We will just figure it out later.
No,
I
no.
mean,
like,
I do
gosh.
want to know,
Okay.
but
Sorry.
Oh, no, I am a diplomat, primarily, but I also am a wizard, and I'm quite confident that my skills will only increase with time.
wonderful.
2 wizards are better than 1, as they always say.
Exactly. Yes.
Sounds right to me. Yes. What was your question though?
I again don't. I mean this in all due respect, and in the interest of all of us being, I guess, transparent up front. We are all desperate to learn, so this isn't anything that would prevent us, because we know loss and we know determination. But is there a reason why you're quilting instead of being a monster hunter now?
That's a young person's game. I'm out.
That's fair. So you have plenty of experience you could potentially pass on.
Figured it's more of a time to mentor the new generation. Didn't know if it would ever be possible to find a group, but now one came literally knocking on my door.
That
Was there a reason that you didn't think you would. If you were a capable one yourself.
It's just, I can be a dreamer sometimes, thinking of new ideas, and making them happen is a whole different thing. And to find capable people who are willing to potentially lose their lives, fight monsters, can be hard to come by.
Dreamer, right? So you want to do something no one else does.
Well, I figure why not run my own thing?
I like that.
I have
Certainly
the knowledge.
demand
so.
these days with the state of the roads and travel.
Of course. And it seems like you three are all four of you are very motivated as well to be involved in this. And you got rejected. Why not give you a chance?
I would appreciate it.
I like that.
Oh yes, you're Eleanora. What are the rest of your names?
I'm Winnie.
Euphemia.
Dav'Ril Burza.
Pleasure to meet you all. Well, we can discuss terms if you'd like for this. If you're wanting to move forward with this. I know it seems a little quick, but
I've
Quicker
given
the
up
better.
9 blood already, so I'm in. I like that.
Quicker the better.
you other two feel the same way?
Yeah. I do.
All right. Well, why don't you give me the night and see if I can find a job or two in the next day or so. Maybe I can swipe one from one of the hosting boards and see about getting you some work. Split it 5 ways. What about that? All the rewards.
I'd be fine with that.
Fine.
Fair enough.
I want your knowledge more than the rewards anyway. Again, with all due respect.
Yes, if you're willing to tell us what you know and pass on any knowledge you might have, of course.
Of course. I'd be willing to teach you anything I know. But one thing that may be important. Sometimes the other Monster Hunter groups don't like competition. And a startup like ours may lead to other issues. If Calvin sent you, he might be okay. But I don't know about everyone in his group. But perhaps we make a name for ourselves while avoiding the other groups for now.
Would you mean like jobs that they take up not infringe upon them, or what are you referring to?
Well, that's where I can come in. I can be the buffer who gets the jobs and brings them to you. And no one ever has to see your faces or know that you're part of anything until you deal with the job. Then if any questions come in, they come to me, and we don't have to worry
Heidi
about
the broker.
We're not
Eleanor
doing
just
this for
sits
the
back.
fame, so. Or
Sorry,
are we?
what did you say?
Oh, we're not doing this for the fame. Or I'm not. Look at everybody else.
No.
Well, I'm not saying fame, but I mean, you want to be known as people who can help others. You want people to come to you for help in the big coin.
Networking.
But you're saying
But-
for now to keep it down.
Well, especially as a startup.
Correct. Yes.
Wouldn't want to find us all dead in an alley sometime, would we?
Mhm.
The other groups do that? They'll kill you? The other groups would?
Taking after their jobs.
Oh.
I'm not saying everybody in other groups are bad, just... You never
We all
know.
know this world's deadly. Another team's not going to add too much to the danger.
The monsters aren't the only threats in this world. So you know.
Lesson number 1. Question. I might have come into the city hoping for boarding with the tryouts to make it in. I don't really have a place to stay. Do you have anything in mind locally? For cheap? Real cheap? Like
I
super
did
cheap?
find an inn that was not repulsive, that was within a certain price point.
I feel like your price point is going to be way higher than mine.
You would be surprised, actually.
I'm sure we can find somewhere.
You need a room. I have a spare room upstairs as well.
We'll find one. Perfect. If you don't mind. Or does anyone else need it? I can always sleep on the alley again if I need.
How much are inns typically, I guess, for...
Yeah, that would be good to know.
Yeah, for yours, which your kind of viewpoint of not too gross to go to or not, I'd say you'd probably have 2 silver would be your cost per night.
Oh, sure, okay. Yeah, so I'll just be like, that is fine, you can take it if you need it. I will. If the others need the recommendation, you are welcome to join me, or if... whatever.
So, it's up to you. I have a room or
Yeah, I'll
Room
stay
at-
in an inn.
the other inn. So, in,
I'll go to the inn too.
In here.
you're here. Okay. Sounds... Well, come back tomorrow. I will do my search.
Thank you.
I do truly, thank you. I
I'm excited.
didn't know what I was going to do if opportunity did not present itself, so I appreciate the opportunity.
This does sound like a great opportunity for all of us. Tell you what, homework for the night. Think of what we call ourselves.
No!
Oh.
Dreaded death.
Oh, a name?
I mean, we have to have a name.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Well, you have the night. So, run along and do that.
Of course.
Dav's demons? No, I don't like that.
You're not the
Dav'Ril.
only one in the
You
group.
probably want to inspire hope for people, but
Yeah. Or intimidation, but
Dav'Ril, are we doing that drink thing that you all had suggested before we turn in for the night, or shall we leave you to your room?
I'm down for a drink. Get to know each other a little better, ice breaking. I'm not, like I said, I've never been in a group. So. This is new for me. You could learn to get over the gruffness and realize I'm actually just trying to get ahead.
I'll be around.
Right.
Don't be too late. Just knock on the door, I'll let you in.
Do you want to drink with us?
Yes, would you like to join us, Heidi?
I do have to find a job for you.
True.
But
All right.
I will see you all in the morning. I'll see you two later tonight.
Thank you for your hospitality.
All right. You're welcome. Go enjoy your drink.
Thank you.
She'll kind of begin to
And,
escort you
yeah.
to the door. And close it behind you. You hear it lock as you're back in the streets of Heaven's Reach,
Is there anyone
heading
out here?
towards the tavern. Not really anybody else out here. But that's where we're going to end tonight's first session of Mystical Mishaps.
Yay!
Oof, we
Can
started
we play
it.
session 2?
Next week. We'll play session 2.
Right now.
Oh, right now.
So, this will be up on YouTube this week. If you want to rewatch it or share it with anybody else. If you have not gone over to our YouTube channel, you can head over there, subscribe, help support the channel there.
Also on Spotify.
Also on Spotify
Mhm.
and Apple Podcasts. If you like podcast form, you can listen to it or share it that way as well. We do appreciate any support you give with that because it helps spread it. The algorithm loves that when people like things and watch things and share things. So, but yes, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for all the support this first session. For all the new people coming in. Couple follows as well. Thank you for that. And my goodness, we are beginning our next adventure, and we already had a mishap on session 1.
Yeah.
Super crazy. It's at medium still, so that's where we're at right now. Remember,
That's still
channel points.
Is that still happening? The effect of it?
Yeah, was it just for a second or is it still lasting?
still affecting for now.
Okay. So we are best friends right now, except for
Yeah,
no
totally.
Yuffie.
Oh, look at
never
that.
had
Right
a-
at the end, too. Lit wants to raise the mishap level one more time. Let's do that real quick.
You're lit.
All
I
right.
wasn't expecting Dav to be this open and fun with the group so far. I was like, oh,
He's
let's
having a
lean
good
into that.
time.
Yeah. I'll just say what it was because I don't care.
Mhm.
People who are wearing red, all of you guys have advantage in like persuasion rolls for them.
Oh my god.
And people who are wearing
Oh.
green, you have disadvantage. with
So
persuasion
I
rolls.
was like gray and
You're gray, so you're
Amazing.
neutral.
Okay.
So
Real
because
funny and random.
you both have red, you're like, oh yeah, everyone, you're like way more open to people.
That's
And because
amazing.
Euphemia's green, she's just like, eh. Or put
I
off
know.
with
That's
people.
so weird.
It's a
Did
weird
you
one.
come up
Really
with
funny.
that?
No,
Or did you find that?
I found
Sorry.
a chart online that I just was like, I'll use these. But
Oh,
That's
that's
so
so
funny.
funny.
That's so good.
there are some that if you guys put them in the chat, I will add them into the list. I might have to tweak some of them to make them fit, but
Be nice.
yeah. Unfortunately, crit, I don't know how I'm gonna do negate a DM crit, but
It just is buzzing in the air until you roll it, and
Like a
then it
silvery
negates
bar.
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that seems really targeted though. It's not like
Pretty
not really a neutral thing, but
Your rolls are not neutral.
I'll keep that one in mind too. Okay.
I think that'd be fun.
All right, but yeah, feel free to suggest any more. I'll put a channel in the Discord as well if you would like to
Fun.
give suggestions there. We'll have more stuff happening in the Discord, so you can join that. If you are watching elsewhere or listening elsewhere, come join us live on Twitch because it's gonna be a lot of fun when things get going. I will probably work on adding more chat things as the time goes on, as the chat levels up as well. So, but thank you so much for everyone joining us for our first session. Hope to see you next week for our second one. We also have lots of stuff going on this week, so be in the Discord and you can see what's going on during the week. We have multiple streams that Rachel and myself are in and Mike's in. So check that out. But yeah, I'm going to sign off on the recording, but I got some more news I'm going to share real quick at the end of this. So thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. See y'all later. Bye-bye.